apologies. Last night's saltiness hasn't quite left yet.
Everyone, that's like some bullshit.
Everyone ready? Willing? Able? Delicious? Sable? Okay. Start recording, please.
I already did.
Good. We see the inside of a small one-bedroom apartment. It's a bit messy. We're in the bedroom of it. The bed is rather small. It's got a very cheap comforter on it. There's some laundry on the floor, stacks of books, a well cared for shelf of what look to be cheapo horror movies. And then as the camera pans, we eventually see a person sitting at a desk. She's wearing an oversized gray and slightly stained t-shirt. Very well worn. You can see the collar, that little ridgy part of the collar of some t-shirts. It's fraying at the top in several spots. She is also wearing a particularly ratty set of pajama pants with cats on them.
Oh.
And she is currently typing away at a laptop when, noticing something, she looks over her shoulder straight into the camera at us and says, no, we can't do that this week. And she rubs her eye, and stress like the skin around the eye. The studio's closed for a couple of days. There's apparently like a health hazard or something. So no Makarla, Mistress of Midnight this week. And she goes back to her computer, but the camera lingers. Or rather, we linger, watching. And when she turns around, she's like, I don't have the costume here. I'm not in the makeup. I was not planning on this today. All right. She spins her very cheap, beat-up rolly chair that has duct tape holding it together in a few spots, and looks at you and sort of stares. She's got a pair of glass. You notice at this point that she's got a pair of glasses on her face, which she pushes back up on the brow of her nose and goes, "Good evening. I am there." Oh, fuck it. So last time when we heard the Offbeat melody, truck driver died. Something swollen in his throat. Isaac was sent to investigate with a sort of gothy doctor named Dr. Mallory Masters, and found out that whatever was in his throat apparently extended to the rest of him and just sort of peeled him open like the husk of a cicada. It was real gross. So group reconvened. Turns out Celia has a concussion. They went to get her checked out, and along the way, Mallory kind of accidentally blew Isaac's cover. She tried to help him save face, but in the end accidentally sort of revealed a bit more than the others put together yet. That's going to have some ramifications, I'm sure. And then heroes mucked around a little bit. There was something that we're going to call the witching hour, mainly because other people are calling it that in the story. And our heroes realized that Melody has even more weird shit going on than lake monsters and Sasquatches. Turns out it's sort of a nexus where different realities occasionally bleed into our own. So that's pretty weird. They met Faust, found her curio shop, tried some of the weird screaming gushers, wouldn't recommend. And then they met a luchador. Yeah, a literal luchador. It's gotten real fucking weird. He popped out of a television, and now he's joining and helping them on the capers. But they may have forgotten one thing while they were in the store. We'll find out more about that. But now they've got little meat creatures running around, puffing out spores and trying to infect people to make more of their kind. And I got to get to the bottom of that before the entire town is turned into little meat sacks with weird rubbery limbs. So, what'll happen? Will our heroes save the day, or is the town of Melody doomed? Let's find out. And get the fuck out of my apartment. So, group, when you last left off, you had captured a slimy meatball with tentacle-like limbs in an alley behind a shop that used to have a shop wedged in between it, but that shop is now gone because you're back in normal reality again. You got this squirmy little thing in a trash can, and you all are sort of proud. You caught the monster. Huzzah! Then you take a head count. Drake's not here with you. In fact, you haven't really seen him since you went into Mafau's shop. Or rather, since you left Mafau's shop.
Oh no.
Hey, he will be fine. Do not worry.
Well, you were stuck there for how many decades?
Yes, that was because I went into a television, and I do not think Drake would do the same thing. He may
Are
be
we
a
sure
little
about that?
injured. Mostly. Eh. At some point, we should fix that.
But right now, I think we should do something about the meatball in a can.
Well, if we have a generator, the bunker where we got the hazmat suits has a coolant device that we store it for the time being.
Were we gonna bring a piece to the doctor?
Yeah, I wanted to bring at least most of it or the whole thing to Mallory. She can, hospitals would have liquid nitrogen to freeze it or cool it down, but might be safer to bring it to the bunker. Although who knows how many of these things are out there.
We also need to have something ready to bring to the witching hour again.
That's why I was kind of thinking Mallory, because being a doctor, she could surgically slice and they'd have specimen jars and stuff there.
That's fair.
Tensions rise as the others contemplate their next move.
Everyone is being a bit quiet, trying to figure out.
We're
How's
just
Celia and her concussion doing?
Mafau did give her a pill to fix that a bit.
Celia?
Celia.
did she be right back?
She has said nothing in the chat or in the Monster Hunter chat. So
That's a good question. I don't remember her saying BRB.
Here's technical difficulties.
You look at Celia, and she is asleep. Is that a good or bad thing for a concussion?
It's
It's
bad.
bad.
it's usually a bad thing.
She did take
Yeah,
that
it's pretty
medicine.
bad.
Maybe better to sleep to help her.
Son of a bitch.
Well, Celia's fallen asleep.
So,
I think there she is right now. Hello?
Hello.
Casey?
Casey!
Well, we can go on with our debating on where we should take the thing first, or we could,
I'll-
take it
I'll
to the
call it
bunker and then, get the doctor to come to the bunker.
That's not a bad idea. Is there medical stuff in the bunker?
Yes. Yes. Take the narc doctor to Kaiko's secret bunker.
So, which one would you
Yeah.
like then? Would you like us to go take it to her to have a piece cut off, or would you like us to bring the doctor that you don't trust to your secret hideout?
It's your bunker, Kako.
Hey,
have a
I
bunker?
wasn't in character. That's just saying. I'm just saying out loud.
Oh,
Mine was
she has
in character.
El Cuatro. She has like 2 bunkers.
She has more than
There are a lot of bunkers around.
Zoe has only seen 2.
2. You've seen at least 3.
Take her to the decoy bunker.
Does the decoy bunker have a place to store
No.
a frozen?
I'm gonna roll to see if
double
Kaiko has a
decoy
decoy
bunker.
bunker.
I am back, and I have pizza.
Alrighty.
Yay!
Celia's asleep.
Celia woke up.
Celia woke up in Alcoodle's arms because he picked her up. Like, oh, so we better make sure we don't.
Wait, did you guys start without me?
Yeah, everyone was like, I was like, was everyone here? And everyone's like, yeah, we're good to go. And I was like,
said I will be right back. I need to
Nobody
get food.
heard.
I always get food right before the game.
Your mic fucked you, Casey.
yeah, I think your mic may have cut out. The plus side is that nothing has happened. Literally
Yeah.
nothing has happened.
Like literally, we just started.
The only thing that happened was the framing device was Makarla in her house, in her off-hour
I
clothes.
wanted to say the framing device.
I mean, it was literally just Makarla in like a faded, stained T-shirt and jammy pants, giving a very brief aside to the camera, while lampshading the fact that her studio is closed down for a bit because of a health hazard, which is sort of really fucking with the fourth wall at this point.
And we left Drake in the witching hour.
Yep. Everyone realized that Drake did not come back with them when you guys left the house shop, and then we went back to exactly where we ended last session, which was where are we taking this creature, lads and lassies?
Okay, I rolled my preparedness roll, and yes, Kaiko does have a decoy bunker with a coolant device in it.
Fucking course she does.
I guess that's where we're
Yes,
going.
I'll take her to a bunker with a cooling device. Yes.
Then should Isaac go get the doctor?
It used to be an
I
old
mean,
medical
you heard how
military
she-
bunker.
I mean, this is my first time working with her professionally, and I'm not exactly impressed, so I'm not sure if you want her to come to your
Wow, Isaac with the lampshading.
I mean, she
He's
seems
a
to
little
know an
upset.
awful
He's like,
lot about you for someone you've never worked with before.
I mean, you can work with someone at a company and not, like, with them on the same project.
Fair enough.
Company.
Oh!
Kaiko says that to herself.
So what are we doing? Because there's a sentient meatball in this garbage can and it's freaking me out. I'd rather not have it anymore.
You hear the scrabbling. You hear the scrabbling of limbs inside the garbage can.
So he squeezes
I taste
it
the
and steps
trash can.
backwards.
Yeah, I'm
Can-
talking to
can
you,
you-
Chef Boyardee.
Yeah,
Alright.
Isaac tases the trash can since it's metal.
We don't want to kill it, do we? Do we?
I mean, if that first shock didn't kill it, I don't think this is gonna do it.
I mean, it's stuck in a metal can now. It might just do it.
Yeah, but it's also insulated by a bunch of plastic.
Fair point.
But what if it punctures through the metal and has left the bottom of the trash
What
can while we
is
were
growing a
talking?
bone worm look like?
Zoe is standing like way back by
Okay,
a bottle.
here's what we do. We buy a fire extinguisher and we get a fire extinguisher and we freeze the trash can with a fire extinguisher to keep it cool, while we transport it to somewhere where we can keep it cool.
I'll go buy the fire extinguisher.
How about we just
Uh,
take it to the bunker and we just call the doctor? Okay? Okay,
Okay.
this is plan. This is plan. Celia,
Plan.
would you like me to put you down?
No.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
Big, strong
Hal is
arms.
just blushing.
Oh yeah.
Hal, God, I wish that was me.
No, because Hal is having a crisis because El Quaddle is related to Drake, and Drake is related to Hal. So now it's weird. So he's trying in his head to figure out exactly how he's related to Drake and if he can still have his crush or not.
Hal's currently doing the equation brain thing from Hangover.
Poor Hal.
While also being threatened by sentient Chef Boyardee.
Alright, to the bunker?
To the bunker.
All right.
I could detour. I'll get Dr. Mallory.
Are you guys?
I mean, split up. I mean,
Oh wait. What about that blood trail from the end of last session?
Yeah, there's that blood trail.
Hmm.
There's a lot of things you guys could be doing right now.
Either
Shame
way,
that there aren't several of you that you could split up and tackle these things in different teams.
Celia and I will go explore the blood trail.
Yeah, let's bring the person of a concussion to search for the monster. Excellent idea.
She took the medicine. She'll be okay.
I'll go with them.
Who's gonna...
Wait, then
I
who's
can't-
carrying the trash can?
I can't drive, so...
yeah, Hal and I without Drake, we're the only two that can drive.
Then I will drive Kaiko and the meatball and Zoe to the bunker, and you can go get the doctor, and I guess we can trust El Coato with Celia?
Do not worry.
Zoe is very nervously looking between the trash can and El Coatl.
Unless you want to go with them instead, Zoe.
I mean, El Coatl did save my ass from a bunch of vampires, so he's got my vote of confidence.
I have fought many monsters
I'm
before.
still having
Do not
trouble
worry.
believing that.
Okay, I'm going with El Coatl. I am staying as far away from that thing as I can.
Understandable, but we may find more. It should be fun.
Okay, you guys have gone back and forth a couple of times. Who was on what team doing what where?
I think Kaiko, Zoe, and Hal are heading to Kaiko's bunker to put it in the...
I thought Zoe was going with
Zoe's
El
not going
Coatl.
to the biker.
Zoe changed her mind.
She's staying away from the thing that sprayed spores in her face.
Okay, who's facing the blood trail?
El
Yeah.
Coatl, Celia, and Zoe.
Okay, who's going to the bunker?
Me
Hal
and
and
Kaiko.
And Isaac is going to try and get Dr. Mallory on board to help. Yes?
Yes.
Cool. Bunker squad. We're going with you first.
Alrighty.
Bunker squad. I like
Where on the map is this current bunker?
Alright, need to get the map.
Or just tell me roughly. Like, it doesn't have to be someplace specific.
So, like, in the ballpark between the Alto Park and the Hal's house.
Okay. Yeah,
It's in that woods, in that
in that
area.
woods, not quite in the Sonata Woods area, but like in the woods between the park and Hal's house. Gotcha.
It is the old medical barracks.
Awesome. Where are you approaching the bunker from? Because if it's in the woods, I'm assuming there isn't a road leading to it.
There is a little trail back road that used to be used by the military to go back and forth between, but
Okay, so you drive along this little trail in the woods, and you get to the bunker. And as you drive up to the bunker, you see in one of the trees near the bunker is a large, dark, winged shape with hot pink eyes staring out at you.
Hal, your boyfriend's here.
You're not here.
You're not here.
I know. I know.
oh, we have company. That's a bad omen.
The Mothman grins. Its sharp tooth grinned.
How is the trash can looking?
It's been quiet.
So nothing's poking out or anything?
Nope, it's you've got it
Oh,
sealed pretty tight. You
Hal
guys wrapped
went
it
with
up
the
if I
trash,
remember
right?
correctly.
Yeah, with Gorilla Tape.
Yeah.
I gave Hal the stun stick just in case,
Okay. Okay, so
which is 2 non-lethal.
so Mothman, he is up in a tree. I said Mothman, and he's looking at thee. I say Mothman.
What
Probably
do you want?
wants to talk. Will you hear what he has to
What do you
say?
want? What do you want? Trying to warn us about something, or
Are you having trouble?
a bit? Okay.
I hear you want to get to the bewitched world.
To an extent.
But you have no way to start a witching hour.
And you do?
Yeah.
Mothman smiles and nods.
What's the price?
Mothman turns his head curiously and thinks for a moment, his eyes sort of, turning upwards, and he goes, Well, there's nothing I want right now. But I would like a favor later.
A collective favor or a favor from both of us?
Either or, just one favor, which I'll decide upon when I need it.
Kaiga looks at Hal.
They're both just staring at each other at this point, like, should we not? We're having that silent best friend conversation, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, Melody is having an alien plague, so.
It's true.
And she doesn't trust. Company doctor, goth doctor.
I mean,
She's narrowed it down!
Mothman did help us before, so it's got some points going in its favor. At least with Hal, because he's dumb and trusting.
Yes, but a favor from me, no one else. Is that acceptable?
Very acceptable. If you agree, I have a recommendation.
And that would.
Mothman's eyes turn towards the trash can. You have caught one. There are 4 more.
Oh.
Right now. Soon there may be more than that. I would catch all 4 before you get the witching hour again.
Oh.
I will
Okay.
start it at any time you so choose. But I think it would be best if you caught all 5.
Because if it's the wishing hour starts, and that means they are in their true form.
I didn't say that. I just think it would be smartest if you want to make this work to get all 5 before you go back.
Okay.
But congratulations! 20% done!
That bodes poorly. So we know there's at least only 4 more.
Well, and Mothman stretches his wings. I'll see you again when you have all 5, alright?
Okay.
And then later we'll see about that favor. And Mothman flies away.
Goes poorly for Kaiko, but. Oh well. Alright, let's put this thing in the freezer.
Yeah.
All right, describe this medical bunker for me.
I imagine that the medical bunker used to be an old like military and medical research station in like the 70s and 80s during the Cold War. It's like, oh, we're worried about AIDS and anthrax and. So it's like there's like a bunch of like biomedical cooling that's just abandoned after the Soviet Union fell because hey, no need to use.
Yeah, we're not afraid of a Red Dawn anymore, so.
Yeah, that's imagine what happened to a lot of these bunkers is it's like in the middle of nowhere, so we can practice against the Soviet Union. But hey, Soviets are gone, so we have no need for that, and it's just a taxpayer money drain. So
They just abandoned it. Yeah, so what does it look like?
all right, imagine it looks like just like it looks unassuming, like it just has like it's the Jurassic Park electric bunker initially just sticking out of like in the woods.
So the bunker where she finds Dr. Arnold's hand. And it's real creepy, and there's like chain link fences off of some parts, and
but
very
like,
little lighting.
At least on the surface.
Yeah.
There's like a generator hooked up to it because
Yeah.
Kaito's been around.
Samuel Jackson's severed arm is lying around here somewhere. I gotcha.
In this universe, he died in Melody.
Inside, it looks a bit more sterilized. Like there's like white tile, like there's tile. It's very just to get the job done. The lights still work, and
Hal is staring at Kaiko, thinking, if this turns into a situation where I have to run from a man in a trench coat and a hat, I'm going to kill you.
What?
Ain't going through that.
X
again.
gonna give it to you.
My nemesis, Mr. X.
Holy shit.
That's in my head now.
Where'd you go?
but
Claire!
I was.
Your library books. Where'd you go?
Mr.
but yeah.
X. El Koala.
But yeah, it's basically like one layer looks like a medical barracks for like when soldiers have like PTSD and shit. But there's also just like a coolant area where you put like the vaccines and shit for old. Those are all removed because you
Clean
don't
room.
leave that shit laying around. But the cooling that you put vaccines in is still there.
Okay. So my brain is imagining like just like sci-fi giant like vials of goo. When you're saying coolant, are you meaning something else, or is my brain right on the money?
I'm thinking like one of those, you know, like a flat long freezer that you.
It just looks like fucking Resident Evil.
Resident Evil cooler. It's like I just got one of these.
It's
Chilling. Don't worry.
It's just Resident Evil cooler.
All right. I need to know where you're putting the monster.
Okay, it's like a big, you know I have a freezer that's basically not like a tall freezer, but like a horizontal freezer.
Yeah, I had one of those.
That
chest
that
freezer?
you open up like a chest and you.
Yeah.
It's not
So
like
you-
that, but it like locks and it seals in place,
Nice. Okay.
like it's airtight and shit.
Cool. So you open that fucker up, and now what are you gonna do with your little monster buddy?
Put the whole trash can in it.
All right. You put the whole trash can in it. It fits because you have not filled it up with ice cream like I did back in the day, and you close the freezer.
You filled
Yep.
an old medical bunker's freezer with ice cream?
I mean, I filled the horizontal freezer that we had in the attic with ice cream and other frozen treats.
That's fair.
Do you live in a bunker, Will?
No, I live in a house. You didn't have a horizontal freezer as a child that you filled with delicious frozen treats?
No.
Well,
was in the
that's
garage.
your misfortune. Well, I'm kind of glad that thing's gone. It's better that we just have like a normal freezer. You don't need that much ice cream. It's a lot of ice cream to have. So yeah, okay. Job achieved. The creature is now freezing.
Da 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 da.
And Kaiko's gonna make sure it's locked.
Nice. You lock that motherfucker. Okay. Is that all you guys are doing? Or are you just gonna wait for the rest to come back?
Alright, Kaiko, however, we gotta make sure it's rigged with camera traps and shit,
All right. You put several cameras around the freezer.
as well as locking the door to the freezer,
Yeah, you mentioned locking the freezer. I figured that.
and no, the door to the room to the freezer, so it can't
Oh.
get out.
Okay.
So even if it gets out, it can't get out.
Yeah.
Redundancy.
And do you tell the Velociraptor in the room to attack the thing if it gets out? I'm kidding. There's no Velociraptor in the room. That'd be silly.
Not yet.
Yet.
Unless.
It's not a velociraptor. There's not a
That
velociraptor.
foreshadowing
in the
for a future arc.
There's not a velociraptor in the room. It's a troodon.
That's worse.
It'll lay eggs in your stomach for some reason.
What?
That's a Telltale Jurassic Park game reference.
Yeah, Jurassic Park troodons are parasitic breeders.
Okay. Then we cut to Isaac. Isaac, where are you heading?
Meanwhile,
Spindle.
after that's all done, Kaiko is going to text everyone. There are 4 more according to Mothman.
Okay, that's smart. Good. Any other things Kaiko would like to do?
She's
Yes,
going to text
no.
everyone to figure out where to meet up or what's the next course of action.
Okay. Any other things Kaiko would
The
like to
chain.
do? Just before we move on.
No.
Okay. Isaac, where are you heading?
He was going to Spindle.
All right.
I was just going to say the chain text of this group must be something else.
Yeah. You head to Spindle. You go down to the basement labs. Once again, you hear Dr. Wen's voice. And saying, "Did you out my agent?" "Oh my God, no, I didn't. I mean, your agent sort of outed himself with the clothes he's wearing. He's wearing perfectly normal office attire." Have you ever been around a cat, Dr. Wen? What does that have to do with anything? Cats sometimes want to be left alone, and so they try their best with their body language to tell people, "I'm just doing my own thing, ignore me." And you know what most people who haven't been around cats do when a cat comes walking through the room in an ignore me mood? They look at the cat, they watch the cat go, they say, "Here, kitty, kitty, kitty," and get kind of pissed when it ignores them. And sometimes they even just go right up to the cat and pick it up. Isaac is a cat saying, "Ignore me," with his clothes and his demeanor. Humans by nature try to stand out. That is a human acting natural. A human trying not to stand out draws attention by not trying to stand out. You are.
Got any more advice for me, Doctor?
They both turn and see you. When turns to Mallory and says, "You're going to be reprimanded," and Mallory's like, just shrugs dismissively, and one says, "Hello, Isaac. How's the day going?"
It's a load of-
That would take a bit to, that would take a bit to get into. Most pressing is encountered one of the pathogenic organisms, and they are definitely aggressive.
Have you?
Fortunately, I do not have it on me.
Where is the sample?
That's why I'm actually glad you're here, Dr. Mallory. I need you to accompany me to where the rest of my little group has clustered it.
Mallory looks over and is like, "They can't bring it here?" "Well, I guess they can. I did tell you that you're police." "Well, Dr. Wen, you're the head of covert operations." "No, I'm not. I'm the head of research." "I know, but you're acting like you're the maestro. You're a head of pathology. At least I deal with covert operations more than you do." "Either way, I'm deferring to your authority." And Dr. Wen, he does the rubbing the bridge of your nose thing that people do when they're just really pissed at other people being stupid. If you promise to try not to jeopardize Isaac's cover any more than you already have, yes, you may go. Mal smile and he waves her hands and says, lead the way.
Now, part of the reason why I swung by here first is my research for what we've seen is that these things don't like heat, and we may need, a conflagration.
Flamethrowers.
These things,
You're saying flamethrowers?
yes, I was using the company's specific terms. Don't you read the? Never mind.
No, and the answer is no, she doesn't. Dr. Wen, leaves the room for a second, comes back like a couple minutes later with 4 flamethrowers. This is all we've got on hand at the moment. Sorry they're not more compact. How are you planning to explain this to your team?
Well, I thought maybe I'd let Dr. Mallory handle that.
Oh.
She seems to enjoy it.
Wen looks at Mallory, who smiles mischievously, and Wen sighs, and he's like, you said that you told him that he was police, and she's like, yeah. He's like, and Wen's like, the thing is, even if that hadn't happened, I'm not sure how we'd explain how he has flamethrowers. But we need this taken care of.
Fun fact, flamethrowers are actually one of the less regulated weapons in America.
Yeah, they're more legal than some guns.
But why would a person have them?
Oh, he got it.
Why don't you go ask the South?
And then Wen just sits back and ponders it, and Mallory says, maybe it's time to just come clean to the Scooby Squad, Get them on board.
I mean,
Get them spindle jobs. And Wen says, I can't afford to hire more contractors at the moment. We are
I know
tight
like half of them
funds.
don't read their contracts, so that might be a benefit.
Wow!
But I was worried. I was thinking about that. I may have to come at least partially clean with them.
Most of them are teenagers. Can't we just give them like a free internship? Like an unpaid internship?
They're also
Ouch.
millennials. That's not going to work.
Wen's like, well, it would give them a lot of exposure.
Oh!
God, you're fucking hurting my soul over here.
If they press you on why you have flamethrowers, I'm leaving this at your discretion, Isaac, he says while looking at Mallory very pointedly. If you want to, you can offer them our assistance, even an internship here, and tell them that, well, what they already know is going on. There are supernatural happenings in Melody. We are studying them. We are trying to keep them from hurting the populace. And if they want our aid, they have it, provided they share information.
That's about what I was considering myself. One of them, I think they were already on to Spindle itself. So yeah.
Yes, Kaiko has researched us a few times.
Yes,
Have I?
the very one.
Either
I think
directly or indirectly, Kaiko, yes, you have.
Yeah, imagine never having.
I think it was like
had that
Isaac
or
saw
given
something
her-
down in the the Pepe Sylvia board, I think Isaac saw something.
Oh, sorry. Can you say that one more time?
Oh no, I thought, I can't remember right, but this was correct or not. But I think Isaac saw something about Spindle being mentioned a few times in the Pepe Sylvia wall.
You saw her Pepe Sylvia wall, and it does have a lot of connections to like things Spindle Inc. has been involved with or investigating, and more importantly, she had a map, where different phenomena and strange occurrences and disappearances happened, particularly disappearances.
Oh, right, it was the ley line.
And the string that she had connecting things on the map matched almost perfectly with the ley lines of melody that have been charted by Spindle Inc.
That's right.
Basically,
Okay.
Kaiko has a lot of pieces of the puzzle, even if she hasn't figured out together yet.
Yeah, I don't think she's figured out any Spindle Inc. connections. Like, she's investigating missing people.
Yeah, but you've probably done Google searches on things Spindle Inc. was involved with, and maybe you didn't find the paper trail all to them, but the people they have monitoring internet activity noticed you were getting close. Maybe the reason you haven't found that it's been connected to Spindle yet is because they shut whatever door might have led you to that conclusion. But they've seen you on their tail, even if you don't know who you're tailing.
Seen Kaiko out in the Matrix. Alright, so got the flamethrowers.
You have 4 flamethrowers. 4 flamethrowers. 4 flamethrowers. You also have the assistance of a xenopathologist.
Who only may be slightly crazy.
Maybe.
Look.
I love how he hasn't mentioned the luchador yet.
Or going to an alternate dimension and meeting a demon curio shop owner.
Yeah.
Keep that to himself.
Isaac's still not sure, he's not ready to file that report yet.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for this paperwork.
Probably wise. Dr. Masters can brief you on what she's discovered from the carcass. We also have some... There have been 2 additional deaths since the first one this morning. Provided a lot of research, Mallory says. 3.
I think we can expect it to be 2 other victims, because I just got notice on my way here that the Scooby Gang just was contacted by Mr. Mothman again and delivered the information that there were 5 total.
Mallory hears that, and she reaches into her pocket and she looks at her phone. She's like, "Yep, 2 more at the hospital. Send someone to claim those." Seems one was a janitor.
Also, it seems that these things are capable of reshaping themselves. The one we encountered was growing a limb bone by bone.
Mallory's eyes sort of like
Hello?
have a flash of movement.
Hello?
As she hello?
I cut out for a second.
Hello.
As she hears that, she's like, "I really want to see this specimen you've caught."
Oh, it's a warning. We did have to corral it inside a trash can, but it should be.
Any means necessary.
They were gonna freeze it or induce it into a coma because it seemed it did not like the cold.
Come on, let's check it out. And Mallory heads to the door, and Gwen grabs the back of her lab coat and pulls her back, and pulls her very close, and says, "You will watch your tongue while you are with the civilians, or else I will see that you are terminated. Is that clear, Dr. Masters?
Ooh.
Okay. Darty doesn't like this guy. My opinion's gone down even more.
Mallory looks at him and says, I'll be very careful. See that you are. Off you two go. And
Into the minivan.
into the minivan like true secret agents.
With the flamethrowers in the back seat.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice,
I cannot
All right.
believe after 50 years I still have not renamed the cafeteria restaurant.
I mean, does it need it?
It at least could use a new sign. That was the same sign when I was in town.
Okay, so you guys were at M20 at where is the hall? The shop that was in there before yesterday. Okay, you guys were at M21 on the map. M21 is the post office. Oddly enough, you were at Scala's workplace.
Damn it. Get
you
out!
follow a blood trail, like a trail of pitter pattering blood, winding through the alleys. It sort of, you know, whatever it was scurrying, like between buildings, and avoided getting onto the actual street proper. But you follow this little trail, this little plop of blood, and eventually it leads you in a sort of like circular fashion past M20 and all down, and then past M26 and M27 until eventually you get to F17, also known as Sad Meats. That's not the restaurant's official name, but that's what everyone calls it. Sad Meats. For when you want a sandwich that's wet and lukewarm.
Sometimes I do. Whatever.
Sad Meats. When you need to be punished for your sins,
Ugh.
go to Sad Meats. Sad Meats. When you wonder what diarrhea feels like. Sad Meats.
I am not
Dog
sure
has
how.
been a naughty, naughty boy.
Out of
Sad
character, how long?
Meats.
Out of character, how long has this restaurant been here?
I'd say at least since the 80s.
So I would recognize it.
I think you disappeared in the 70s.
I disappeared in the 70s. Like, wow.
You predate the Sad Meats.
I don't
Back
think
then-
I've ever.
Back then it was called Glad Meats.
I had the option of eating at this place or eating nothing out in the streets. I chose eating nothing on the streets.
I mean, to be fair, I cannot believe it replaced Glad Meats. They had the best fajitas.
Look. Sometimes you're depressed and a girl just occasionally wants to punish her digestive system.
Okay, but if I'm going to punish my digestive system, I'm going to punish it with something that I can at least stomach the first time through.
Would
So,
you like me to put you down, Celia, or are you still wanting me to carry you?
when you get to the alley of Sad Meats,
At this point, Celia is literally riding on him.
I'd appreciate if I wasn't the only... Me and the general weren't the only ones who with currently free hands.
Celia sighs and climbs down.
a rather rotund older chap with a bushy gray mustache is writing something on a notepad while standing outside the alley of the Sad Meats where the blood trail leads, and you realize that the alley has been taped off with police tape.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
not good.
General, can you... when he was General Sensitive, he can feel anything going on.
Okay. Do his roll. I'll find sensitive on here so I can...
Sometimes With sensitive, when you open up your brain to the psychic environment, roll plus weird. On a 10 or more, fucking eyes.
Yeah, I got that. What did he roll?
11. I forget if he has a weird, does he? 12.
Okay, cool. Oh, that's 10 or more, so the general gains definite impression of what went on here. Like, having seen one of those things and smelled one of those things, he realizes that it must have grown in a person.
Ooh.
And that someone here got sprayed like a person could get sprayed by a skunk, collapsed in this alley, and had one of those things burst out of it. And indeed, while the cop is currently standing in front of the alley writing down some notes, you do recognize on the wall of the alley, just from a glance, there is a large section that is sprayed with those kind of spores that you got sprayed with earlier.
Face is now green.
The cop sees you all sort of standing there at the alley, and then goes back to his notes, then looks back up and says, "No looky-loose. This is a possible crime scene."
Wait, and the one question I get to ask since I got such a high roll,
Okay.
is it here still?
No.
Oh.
Considering that you guys followed a blood trail.
Oh, it came from here. But
Yep.
wait, if it came from here, we just followed the one we already caught.
Yes.
Which allows us to learn more that we would not know potentially.
Which means that the one that you caught did not come from the hospital.
Oh. There were blood trails at the hospital.
Yes, there were.
Oh,
We
this for
don't-
real.
So there are more than one of these things. Excellent. I am curious to call of battle.
According to Celia,
Cop
Kaito
looks up and sees that there's a fucking luchador.
and a girl in a hazmat suit and a cat in a hazmat suit.
Is Celia in the hazmat suit?
She is, but she took off the mask.
And he's like, JFAX isn't for another couple of months. What are you cosplayers doing out here?
Filming new episodes of the El Coatl show.
Yes, we are on set break.
Zoe gives him a thumbs up.
Is that like a YouTube thing?
You don't know what El Coatl is?
I don't. I get home and I don't watch your television. I just grab myself the latest romance novel and then just set myself to read.
That's
fair.
perfectly fine. Everybody has their things.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was once a Melody television series. We are looking to refilm it and put it on the YouTubes.
Ah. Well, have fun with that.
Zoe looks at El Coatl. How do you know what YouTube is?
And he just kind of like looks at her like, shut up.
Right, on YouTube. Yep. Let's go, El Coatl.
See? And he just kind of like turns and like looks at Celia like, am I carrying you again this time or are you walking?
Celia looks over to Zoe. Very nervous she is. Sighs. I'll walk.
Alrighty.
Wait, should we do something about the spores in there?
We cannot do much while there is a
The
police
cop is
officer.
still standing by the alley. And he's looking at you all with increasing scrutiny.
We should at least get out of the line of sight. Ooh,
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's an alley. Let's circle around.
I can hear.
Shit.
Don't go in the alley. It's a crime scene. I don't care about your YouTubes.
Okay, hospital then?
Perhaps the hospital would be a better visit.
Don't mess around in the hospital. Do I
We're
need
not
to take
messing
you
around the
guys
hospital.
in?
He's going to go see the sick kids. Are you going to stop the sick kids from seeing internet sensation El Coatl? Are you going to do that to the poor sick kids?
Cliff
I-
Howard gave the exact same speech.
How dare you compare Cliff Howard to El Coatl? Look at him. He's clearly...
All I know is that he dunked on one of the Make-A-Wish kids. We're not allowing that again. Stay away from the hospital. If If I find out you've been at the hospital, I'm taking you all in, and you're gonna spend a night in the pokey to think about your life choices.
I'm pretty sure you don't have the authority to do that.
This is discrimination.
This is a small town. I can do that. I'm a cop.
Which cop is this?
This is Chuck Wiggins. It's a good old-fashioned guy. He doesn't like people messing with sick kids in a hospital.
We're not gonna mess with the sick kids.
I am.
Celia, this is why we have to take you there. Your concussion is still affecting you greatly.
She's got a concussion?
Yeah.
Yes, and she
got
keeps on
killed by
wandering away. That is why I was carrying her.
Putting you down was clearly a bad idea.
Elkwaddle simply picks her back up again. It's like, nope, not having these troubles. Going straight to the hospital.
We promise we won't cause any trouble.
We told you not to jump off of the dumpster, but what did you do? Jump off of the dumpster.
Alright. If I hear anything going on at the hospital, your parents are going to be in big trouble. And you, sir, I will leave a comment on your YouTubes and tell them to take it down. I'm a cop. That's something we can do.
Got you. That is
Gonna
a
download
legitimate
If
threat.
this was D&D, I would have to roll a deception check, but it is not, so we are fine.
I understand, officer.
Oh,
There will
he's
be no
from the internet.
shenanigans.
Okay. So they leave.
And Elkwaddle just jots off like how you get carried around by a Machamp.
I gotta explain to you what YouTube is.
Yes, I would like to know so I may better further our cover.
It's, you see, we record things with cameras.
This is after we've walked away.
Yeah.
We're not standing in front of the cop going,
You don't even know what the internet is, do you?
no, I do not know.
Oh dear lord.
Well, for one thing, it's how Freakazoid came to be, so jot that down.
Who said that?
It's a series of it's a means for people to connect all across the world.
That's
Oh.
the wholesome answer.
Ooh,
That's the
so
wholesome
it is
answer.
a new form of media, yes?
Yeah, it's like,
Yes,
I
one
have
could
a-
say it's the newest media.
Ooh. That might be where I'm going next. Okay.
do you want to
You
get
know
trapped? No, you don't want to get
gets
trapped in the internet.
internet.
No, Calcoddle, no.
Well,
It
he's
is a
been-
long. It is a long story on why I was trapped in the television, and I will tell it when we are not hunting monsters.
That's fair. To the hospital?
To the hospital because Celia is still suffering from her concussion.
No, I don't think she is. How you feeling, Celia?
Been worse.
Okay.
She looks like, right now she looks like a cat that's being carried by its master.
Zoe texts the group chat, I guess, that they found where the first one came from.
Imagine we have our own this old little Discord server.
And it is called Monster Hunting Idiots.
Oh my god.
The meta is strong today.
Yeah. So, hospital. Where's the hospital from here?
Si tú no sabes, yo no sé.
Wait, well, where is the hospital? It's, I think, is it 4? I feel that's right, but I'm not entirely sure. Nope, 4 is the S mark. Where is our hospital? Well, it's somewhere on the map.
Will it be number 9?
Okay, nope, number 9's the mall. Far more important than the hospital, obviously.
Is it number 3?
St. Mesos is 14, which would be... Oh, it's that big one. So it's like, you know, you're basically just going up this, like, up a street.
Okay.
Cool.
And keeping an eyes peeled as we walk.
It's technically like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 4 blocks away, But you're vertically as opposed to horizontally, so you're fine.
Alright. Eyes are peeled as we go, watching for anything. Keep an eye out, General. I'll get you a treat once we're done with this. You cannot come out of that till we're done. She tries to pet him through the cat suit.
Has cat suit.
As cat suit.
Sadly, it just makes him feel like the Hazcat suit is rubbing against his back. So
Aw.
it's not the most pleasant experience.
Aw.
But you get to the hospital. There's actually a couple of police cars. There's like a couple of ambulances with flashing lights. Seems some shit's going down at the hospital. In fact, there are quite a few cops there. So think back. I'll give you a recap. What Isaac and Mallory saw last time they were at the hospital, which I imagine Isaac related to you guys at some point, was that they found the corpse in one of the hospital rooms, and there was an open window with a blood trail leading out the open window.
Yeah.
So theoretically, there should be a blood trail to follow that's outside the hospital rather than inside.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Oh, hold on. This information.
You don't have to physically go into the hospital to find the trail.
Cool. Assuming you are actually okay, Celia, and you don't need to go in the hospital.
I'm good.
Would you like me to put you down now?
Okay.
Hal is somewhere. Hal is wondering if he should be jealous or not.
Somewhere Hal's still having a crisis over whether he's related or not.
Okay, let's find the bloody window, I guess?
Oh, thank God I'm not related to Kate Blanchett. Okay, find that bloody window. So, there are some cops outside the hospital, and just people in general. How do you plan to find the bloody window?
Assuming it's...
El Coato will walk around the outside of the building.
That's a good idea.
Nonchalantly. I can roll and investigate if you wish. I will roll and investigate because I heard nothing.
Alright.
Alright, and that's plus...
So you're investigating a mystery?
I believe that is sharp, correct?
I believe so. Normally, yes.
Yep. Yes, it is.
Cool, I got a 9.
Okie dokie, which means you have a hold of 1. 1 hold can be spent to ask the keeper one of the following questions. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can it hurt? Where did it go? What was it going to do? And what is being concealed here?
I want to do where did it go?
Where did it go? Alright. You, a luchador, circle around the hospital until you find a little, you're looking at the walls real closely in the windows until eventually you do find one wall on the eastern side where there is just a little tiny little trip of little red dots along the outside of the window. Then you look down, and there's a big red splotch on the grass where whatever it was landed, followed by some more little dots on the grass, leading into 14. Leading into the street, oddly enough. The street towards 6, 5, and 4. So basically towards the highway. But you can't tell where it goes. Like if it went to the highway or somewhere else, it just crossed the street behind the hospital.
Okay. So he's going to look both ways, of course. He's not going to die by being hit by a car. He crosses the street, so he can't find on the other side where it went.
All right.
I'm assuming Celia and Zoe at just some point notice Alcohol like beacons and then just goes off in a direction.
We should follow him, Celia.
Probably.
So the other two of you are just following him, doing nothing else?
Yeah.
Joe's gonna jog back real quick to the hospital to one of the officers. Excuse me,
Yeah,
sir.
it turns out they've been watching you guys do this.
Oh, is everything okay here, sir? Something happened?
The officer looks at you, a teenager in a hazmat suit,
You keep forgetting.
holding a cat in a hazmat suit. Who's been hanging around with a luchador who just circled around the hospital and then went running off across the street. I'm gonna be honest. What the hell are you doing?
Oh, you see,
We are dealing with some serious things at the hospital today. Do you think cops come here normally?
I mean, that's why I came up to ask
Why
you what's
are
going
you?
on.
Why is a luchador? Honestly, Prowler, back me up on this. This is suspicious, right?
No, I can actually.
And
There's actually.
Prowler just has his hand over his mouth.
I have a completely actual. No, my explanation makes perfect sense. Do you remember the old Melody Broadcast TV show, The Adventures of El
I
Quado?
think, Nora, you're making him manipulate someone.
That's my skill.
Yeah, I think you got to roll before you.
No, a pleasant and friendly manner. When you politely manipulate somebody, your impeccable manners always count as a reason for the person to do what you want.
You still have to make a roll, though.
Do I get a +1 on it or something? Or
I think so. So the way manipulate someone works, once you have given a target a reason, in this case your reason is your polite and friendly manner, you tell them what to do and roll plus charm.
okay.
And then depending on what you get on that, the character has to make one of a few options. So
Okay.
your pleasant and friendly manner has already given them a reason to listen to what you have to say.
Okay.
Like, this is like, if you shot someone's mom in the street and then wanted to convince them not to turn you into the police with a manipulate someone roll, you would have to give them a reason to listen to you. Or like, if you were dressed like a luchador and burst into a crime scene, you would have to give them a reason to listen to you as opposed to just immediately haul you away because you're doing something really fucking weird and inappropriate. So the reason you have given us is the polite and friendly manner. So you skip that step, but you still have to do the roll.
Okay. That is charm.
Mm-hmm.
10.
Hey, 10 plus. They'll do it as long as you do what you offered, which in this case, which might be nothing if your reason is intangible, like the authority of official badge, or in this case, the pleasant and friendly manner. So, the officer will do what you want them to do.
Okay.
What do you want the officer to do?
I want to know. Well, first, I was explaining that El Quadal is, from the old Melody Broadcast TV show, and he's filming new episodes.
Hey, Uli, didn't you say you watched that show a lot?
He's covered his mouth.
Uli, you okay there? Never seen you speechless before. There's malfeasance going on. Don't you want to chew them out a bit? Okay, so he's on the show that was on the Axis channel. Not the one with the hot babe, but the one with the luchador. Go on.
Oh, no, not her. But yeah, we're just looking for some good filming locations and such, We're going to be posting it to YouTube.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't do that around the hospital. Not today, especially. I mean, you could accidentally impede some traffic at the hospital, but like today we're dealing with some serious stuff. So.
What happened here?
And he looks at Uli, and Uli just is being looked at and is like, "Okay, fine, it's on me."
She has big puppy dog eyes behind her gas mask suit.
Guy's like, "Well, keep it on the down low. A couple of people got real sick, and it's kind of serious. We're looking into the source of it. Doesn't seem like it's spreading, but we're trying to figure out what happened. Those folks over there are made gestures in a direction that makes no sense. They're helping out the ones in the big labs, so it's probably overblown. Probably someone just got like Ebola in Africa or something, and then someone else shared a burger with them. I don't know. I don't know much about disease stuff. I just know that it's kind of serious. We got to find anyone who's contracted it, and try and take them in before they expire. So again, just stay clear of the hospital today, kids. There's no fun to be had shooting luchador movies.
How many people got sick?
We can't disclose that information to a civilian.
I mean, you got me kind of worried
Look,
now.
it's like he scratches his throat in a way that emphasizes all 5 of his fingers, like a handful.
Oh.
Oh.
I understand.
William, you gonna chew me out for breaking protocol? Willie's just looking at El Quaddle go.
Alcohol's like running down the street in his weird ancient-style mask, dressed in a nice pressed
His
suit.
very tight spandex strongman's brief.
No, it's like a fine clothes, so it's like a 3-piece fine suit that just also happens to show off his
How
ass.
luchadors dress. Their outfits are tight and shiny.
No matter the outfit, you're correct. So he does have a very nice tight ass as he's running across the street.
I'm picturing like an El Santos suit,
Yeah, kind of like an El Santos suit.
leather accents.
Yes,
Oh my god.
on the mark.
Is he gonna be okay?
Uli? No, he's a total fuck up, and I'm glad that he's gone catatonic right now so I can say that right in front of his face and it won't register.
Hal's got competition.
Maybe he does. I'm not sure yet.
Hal is fine with this right at this moment.
Thank
Al
you,
doesn't know this is
officer.
happening.
I'm sorry for bothering you during your work shift.
Yeah, okay. Just run along now. Hazmat suit's probably pretty good. Does that keep out disease, Uli?
Should I roll for sexiness?
Just remember, you can always rely upon the Melody to Police Department.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Say thank you.
Meanwhile,
Thank-
elsewhere, Kaiko, doubt.
Say thank you, General.
Wow.
He's like that.
Where did you get a cat hazmat suit?
Long story.
Yeah, that's a weird way to say Etsy. All right, run along.
Later. She jogs after El Coatl.
El Coatl. You follow the blood trail beyond buildings 4, 5, and 6, which, according to the map, are 4 is the S-Mart, 5 is House Improvement, and 6 is Bullseye, i.e. Target. You run past them and duck through the space between the Walgreens and the mall, and find the blood trail goes behind the mall.
Uh-oh.
And it goes past 34, which is Christine's used car lot.
There's just a luchador running around town. Oh my
Yeah.
him.
This is viral marketing.
It is.
And it goes around there. You see that the trail enters the car lot, and then there's another, like a few feet down the road, you see the trail leaves the car lot, sort of circles back, and then goes around 17, which I believe is Why Spindle Inc. of all places. Doesn't go into it, but goes around it.
Okay. Alqual will like kind of jog in quietly, poke his head through the parking lot, see if there's like a dead body there or something he should be worried about, and then he'll just keep on following the blood trail.
You see that there is a section of the parking lot that has been police lined off, and that the like no one is in the parking lot right now. Apparently, no one wants to buy a used car today, or maybe they closed down because someone got horribly sick or something.
I could see that being a very legitimate case. He pops up towards it, looks to see if there's any police officers, assuming there is somebody. Maybe.
Nope, actually, no one is manning the police tape. They're letting the police tape speak for itself.
Alrighty. Is there blood splatter and spores?
Do you break into the parking lot to take a closer look?
I'm assuming this is like most used car parking lots. Breaking in is...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're just walking through.
I'm just walking through, yes.
Yeah, okay, you walk in, you go past several cars. There's one really old, beat-up Cadillac there. And eventually you come to the spot that's been police taped off, and sure enough, you see some damn spores on the ground there. They've sort of dried and hardened, but there's a blast spray. Whenever this happened, it must have been significantly earlier, several hours ago, because the spores are already like they're not wet, and you can see that they're not wet. They're not fresh. They're sort of dry and kind of flaky. Do you touch them?
No.
Okay, good. That's smart.
Alquatl has dealt with many gross things before, but this is something new. When I find the others, I would let them know. I would call them on the local telephone booth, but I have neither a phone number
Celia
or
comes up behind. Celia comes up behind him, clearly out of breath from trying to keep up.
Ah, yes. Hello, Celia. I have found where one of the bodies were.
And
also, do not touch that.
Oh, you found more?
I found proof that they sprayed somebody else.
Celia gets out the bottle of disinfectant. Should I douse it?
Probably would not hurt.
Celia dumps a bunch of the disinfectant onto the spores.
All right. It wipes them clean away.
Ah, yes, destroying the crime scene.
Yep. Hopefully there's no cameras in this car lot.
It's a used car parking lot. You think they got the budget for that?
Closed circuit, at least.
Anyway. So what's your next move, gang?
Zoe finally catches up. Why do you run so fast?
That was just a jog.
Oh god, that was just a jog.
But yes, there is more blood trail going this way. And he points to where it goes out of the parking lot. Now, I do not know if it is still in the parking lot or not. That would be a very good plot twist. But we could follow the blood trail that is leading out past the parking lot. That would be the wisest thing.
I agree.
Yeah, I think if it was still here, we would find its blood going into the parking lot more.
I mean, it circled around back in at least once.
All right. So you're gonna follow the blood trail to see where the first one went?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Let's cut back to the bunker for a second.
Okay.
Isaac, you arrive with Dr. Masters in tow to the bunker. At least using the directions Kaiko gave you. The door is closed. The way is shut. It is kept by those who are dead, and the dead keep it.
Wrong game.
Isaac texts Hal, let me in.
Let me in.
Let me in!
Oh, we're both still there, right?
Yeah, I imagine so, unless you guys left and didn't tell me.
Hal Texas use the secret knock, bitch. He should know this. We did stupid shit when we were children.
Isaac's like, oh god. Yeah, it's like, and then he does it. It's like, wow, that's like buried deep in the subconscious.
Hal opens the door and says, "Wow, I didn't think you'd remember that."
Yeah, that's weird. All right, brought the doctor and party favors, flamethrowers.
Which
Isaac?
YouTuber did you rob to get those?
What kind of parties do you go to?
Hot ones.
Oh, you must have robbed. Oh, you must have confiscated those from another YouTuber. Oh,
Mallory looks at Isaac, just waiting to see what you say.
Kaiko
yeah,
was
we
actually completely buying the fact that you would have flamethrowers because you get those a lot. She's not betting it out at the
really,
flamethrowers.
I mean, they're very, very
Isaac says-
good industrial grade flamethrowers, but okay.
I mean, the slow
Yeah,
mo
Isaac
guys
just
have
has
one,
to-
so
Oh yeah, these things are like horribly regulated. Like almost anyone could get them.
I know, right?
But
The local gun store get them in bulk every other day.
Let me see the body.
That's in here.
yeah,
Kaiko points and
Mallory is looking at every inch of your bunker while she walks in, and you lead her to the room. She's like, "Sweet digs, kid." Ooh, she's seen some stuff. Do you know when this was abandoned? How much of this stuff is still viable?
the 80s.
Ooh, yeah, this is a bit of a gold mine. Good.
This is a decoy
find.
bunker, by the way.
Yeah, sure. All right, so you bring them to the freezer.
Yep.
What are you guys wearing?
Kaiko has the hazmat suit just in case. Kaiko brought the hazmat suit. She knows better.
It's kept in here.
Yes.
All right. Isaac said you have some.
from Spindle.
What?
But she brought one for herself from.
Yeah,
Spindle.
she's
That's where Isaac
she's
got
actually
his.
unpacking it right now. She has. It's not quite a hazmat suit, like it's not big and bulky, but it is like a full body covering suit, which she is now like changing into. Like she takes off her jacket and sort of fits the top over her top. And she's like,
Isaac's wearing one of the flamethrowers, by the way.
Isaac, do your friends have protection?
Kaiko back.
They got suits.
Put them on.
Okay.
And she gets into her outfit, and hers looks like somewhere between like, like a full body like a gas mask, and like the sort of like a diver's wetsuit, and like a space suit from the '60s.
Ah.
It's a full body covering thing, but it's very skin tight.
I see. It's ET bait.
And it's a little bit, and it's got a very fashionable gas mask on it with like great big visored section for her to look out of. All right, let's play Operation with a Monster. Everyone ready?
No.
Hey Hal, take one of the flamethrowers.
Hal has one of the flamethrowers.
Yeah, there's 4, so everyone can have a flamethrower.
You've got to be fucking kidding.
Who has the key?
Kaiko unlocked it.
She opens it up, sees the trash can inside, lifts up the trash can, finds an operating table that she's already cleared off, peels off the Gorilla Tape, opens the lid, and sort of dumps out the frozen meatball. Its limbs are twitching, but the cold has sufficiently stopped its development. It's sort of sitting there, just like, well, I gotta say, it's sort of low tech, and I'm not so big on having French fries and moldy lettuce on my table, but did a good job of keeping this thing fresh for me. She pulls out another box full of equipment, and it's just full of like various cutting and dissecting implements. Let's see what we got here. And she proceeds to split that thing open like a pomegranate. Just slices along its side while it twitches, and like a section on the front sort of like quivers as much as it can while moving in a slow torpor. And then she reaches into her gloved hands and just sort of into the incision and just sort of splits it in half with a rip.
Ugh.
Congealed, like, jellyish blood sort of oozes out of it as she opens it up.
I hate this.
You see inside there are several, like, round organs. And she starts poking at it with a knife while the limbs twitch their last before going still. And she goes... She pokes one and's like, is that a... Oh my god. And she twists it around with a scalpel, and you see it's a very human-like eye.
That's unpleasant.
Now dead, but like it has whites, and it has like a blue iris and a black, very wide pupil now because it's dead. The sphincter of the pupil has relaxed. That is eerily similar to our own. And what are these? And she pokes a couple other pouches. And she sees that they're full of something, and she takes the scalpel and slits them open, and out fall human teeth.
Oh.
Or rather, things that look very close to human teeth. Fascinating. Very fascinating. And there's one more like orb in there to dissect, and she grabs it, and this one is sort of a puke green with like mixings of like mustard yellow and like a sort of light brown.
Careful, these things did spray spores when we found it. That might be the organ.
All right, I'll be careful. Let's she aims her knife away from herself and makes a slight incision, and like a green slime, very similar in color and consistency to what it sprayed out earlier, starts to ooze out. All right, you're right. This is some sort of spore sac, and you can even see she cuts up from where the sac is attached, and you can and finds like a trail of the vent that basically like the spores shoot out of to puff into people's faces. Very, very fascinating. And this, and she points to the slime. This is very similar to what was coating the inside of that husk that we found this morning. So I'm guessing it gets in there. This starts to infect cells and then gather the DNA to make that. Because I'm guessing it doesn't have human eyes and teeth normally. And she turns to you, Isaac, and she says, what do you think is the biggest problem with colonizing a place? Other than the moral implication of people and whatever.
I mean, if you look into, the War of the Worlds said it was a hostile environment.
Yeah. Specifically, disease. If you've never been to a land before, chances are the disease is there, can bypass your immune system because your immune system isn't prepared for it. So what do you want to do if you want to prepare people traveling to a new land for the disease in whatever land they might try to colonize? You try to give them immunity. You try to build up their defenses so they can match that new environment. If we want to colonize other worlds, other planets, we're going to have to send probes first to figure out what environmental hazards there are. I'm guessing this is a probe. This is collecting data to figure out how the real thing that wants to get over here can live in our environment. And it's doing that by just copying our defense mechanism in a very literal way. It's stealing our immune system.
That is not good news.
No. Because if whatever it is that sent these things out is doing that just to get here, what's it going to do once it gets here?
Yeah, typically the locals in a colonization event don't end up well.
They certainly aren't right now. She looks at the thing. Right now, that's a hunch. I can't say for sure whether that eye is actually genetically a human eye and those teeth are genetically human teeth, and this very human muscle tissue that's forming around a very inhuman body structure is actually human muscle tissue. But I'm guessing whatever it is that's infecting people is trying to build itself a body out of human. Which means it's going to need more mass than this little thing had.
The husks were drained. And if there was an autopsy, they'd be missing big chunks of themselves.
And we are. There was nothing inside that corpse except for a thin layer of skin and a thicker layer of that. She points to the slime.
Oh,
there weren't
great.
even
we
bones.
We got neat nanomachines taking over. That's great.
And I'm guessing it needs more than just the one. Otherwise, why have the ability to infect other people with more spores?
We were
It's
told.
going to be looking for biomass.
What if the other ones that we were told about are just like gonna meet each other and he kind of wiggles his hands around and just like goes smash together?
Fuse? Join up?
Like do a fusion dance and become one thing? That's possible.
Nerd.
You didn't watch Dragon Ball Z as a kid?
No, I did. That's why I know I can call you a nerd.
Fair enough, Isaac. We've got 5 bodies that we know of. That means we've got 4
Mothman
more.
did say there were 5.
Come again?
Right. That's what your guys' text said, right? Isaac looks to the rest.
Thought there was 4 more.
Did you just say Mothman?
I said it.
You didn't see him.
I mentioned it to you on the way over.
You might even say, I said Mothman.
Okay, Isaac, I might have been tuning you out in the car. Just kidding. Okay, so you're talking to Mothman now. Alright.
Well, a Mothman.
A Mothman. Are they aware there's multiple Mothman? How aware of phenomena are these kids?
She's terrible at keeping cover.
Mothman admits to staring in my bedroom sometimes.
To be fair, Isaac mentioned Mothman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Mothman's stalking him.
It's weird. Uncomfortable.
I mean, they live in Melody. It's kind of noticeable after a while.
Note, Isaac, that I am saying nothing.
Oh, I love her.
Well, in my professional opinion, we need to gather whatever these things are and take them out. Because as fun as studying a xenopathogen of this magnitude is, this is a severe existential threat.
Thankfully, we have El Coatl, Luchador Extraordinaire to deal with them.
Mallory looks at Kaiko.
Like I said, it's been a long day.
And you're dreaming up cartoon characters are going to save the day? What? A luchador?
I mean, you're accepting Mothman is on speaking terms with these kids, but a luchador
I have heard
profession is weird.
I have heard of, and she's like, she realizes like before she can finish that sentence that she would be giving things away if she answered that completely and honestly. And she was just warned sternly not to, and she's like, people have talked to Mothman before. There was a book about it, and a terrible film starring David Boreanaz, who looks very similar to Richard Gere, and that joke's probably a little too heady for our audience, but that's fine.
I have a question for Celia and Zoe. Have they taken a selfie with Okualu yet?
Obviously.
Okay.
Celia
So
takes one
Michael
while El Coatl's
shows us
carrying
a
her.
selfie of what Celia and El Coatl.
A luchador and two girls in hazmat suits, and a cat in a hazcat suit.
The best part
So
is it's
your monster hunting operation, have you heard of subterfuge? Because luchador is the opposite of that. I know they wear masks, but they also draw attention to their experience with bright colors.
That's what I love so much. Oh my god.
They didn't want to get infected, but I mean,
We're supposed to be subtle about this?
We work for a wax museum. Subtlety. We're not. What subtlety?
yeah. Once
Why
Isaac
would
saw
we
him
have any
wax
reason to
museum,
have-
he knew subtlety wasn't going to work.
I guess it is such an insane thing to just have a person wearing a luchador outfit while you're hunting monsters that anyone would believe any other explanation you come up with because they all make equal sense.
We just told them we were filming new episodes. Everybody just kind of nodded their head and go, okay.
She's
Act like you
taken
belong.
aback, but then she's like, that actually works.
What did Hal say?
That actually makes a lot of sense. Okay.
What
That's
did
a
Hal
weird
say?
that's weird problem solving, but
He told her that we just told him that we were just filming new episodes, and everybody just nodded and said, okay.
it's a very outside the box solution to a very outside the box problem. That's good on you, kids.
You just hear her mind slowly just breaking.
But now she's kind of impressed because yeah, actually that works.
It did! To be fair. Any weird
I mean,
shit
what-
that they see, then, they're just gonna think it's some props.
Yeah, why? It's a cheap public accessibility TV show. I mean, they had a YouTuber.
I would suggest you guys get some film permits.
It's Melody, you don't need permits for
off
that.
of it, off in the distance, Goto's like, ha ha ha, I'm too fast for film permits.
All right, and she dumps the rest of the trash into a medical waste bin. Searches a couple of the closets and finds like a bag for medicinal waste. Wraps the corpse up in the bag tight. Grabs a second bag, wraps that up tight. A third bag, wraps that up tight, and then puts the Matryoshka bag full of corpse back into the garbage can. Says, who has the gorilla tape?
Kai holds up the Gorilla Tape.
Can I?
Kai can hands up the Gorilla Tape.
She tapes the trash can up again, this time like even more super securely, and then hoists it over her shoulder and says, okay, if you don't mind, I'm going to get this back to the lab so I can do some analysis on the genetic material. I would suggest the rest of you get the rest of these things and burn them. We did find that fire takes care of the slime very well. Doesn't spread it, destroys it. Otherwise, I think a lot of disinfectants. We found that anything that works against fungi works pretty well. Any sort of fungicide.
Mm-hmm.
Now, out of character, because I can't quite remember, but did the Mothman say that we needed all 5 of the pieces ourselves?
You said to have all 5 with you when you go to the witching hour. And
Isaac
Dr.
didn't,
Masters
but I
is about to
can't say
take the
anything.
corpse with her. So if someone wants to
Isaac can't
think
say
of
it
a,
because he didn't hear it.
anyone wants to think of a quick excuse,
Well, Kaiko actually did just text him what the Mothman said. Like, she wouldn't fuck that up.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Isaac's like, actually, Doctor, I'm going to have to hold on to that. We're going to have to hold on to that.
why?
Sources say that all the pieces need to be together to dispose of it. Otherwise, it can...
By sources,
I
do
don't
you
know.
mean Mothman?
Mothman.
Mayhaps.
I don't want Silver Bridge on my conscience. She lifts up the freezer and puts the thing back in. Along with any of her tools that touch the thing. I want those back.
Oh, yeah, sure. We'll clean them afterwards.
And she looks at you. She looks at the freezer. She looks at the kids, and she listens. Can I have a private discussion with you for a second?
Yeah, sure.
All right. You and her slip off to a part of the bunker that's a bit secluded. She whispers, "What am I going to tell Dr. Wen? He is expecting a body to analyze."
I mean, you could... I mean, I'd be willing to let you take your tools back with this... with samples on them.
Yeah, I understand. I understand, and it is more important to stop whatever this is than to save my job. But what am I going to tell
I
Dr.
was
Wen?
getting to that.
Okay.
Say it had to be disposed of. It incinerated. Say it got up and started flailing around on the autopsy table. I mean, that seems logical. Nothing was twitching as you were cutting into it.
All right. My standing has taken a huge hit for this one, though, so remember that next time we work together.
I will tell Dr. Wen you were very helpful and very professional in handling the autopsy.
Thank you. I will do the same. All right.
Now, how are you getting back? Because I kind of need to stay with them, and I'm not giving you my car.
I'll walk.
Jeez.
It's a far way away, but she's an athletic woman. She'll be fine.
I mean, we might be able to drop you back off in town, depending on where we're going next.
I honestly think it's better that you prioritize catching these things.
All right. Well, thank you for
Nice.
the help.
No problem. Nice working with you. Let's do it again the next time some sort of horrible alternate dimension plague starts attacking the city.
I'm sure we'll have the chance.
And as she strolls out towards the exit of the bunker, she looks around and says, "Kid found a really nice bunker. She's pretty valuable."
Yeah. Try to keep that on the sly from Dr. Wen. This could be useful for the group.
I will share no more of your secrets, Isaac. And she heads out the door. All right, so you guys got some valuable monster analysis.
When Kaiko and Hal are alone in the car, it's like, you knew. Good thing I bugged the whole bunker with camera traps earlier, right?
You rat bastard. Well, she never said who they were working for, so. I mean, she said Dr. Wen, but she never said the company.
Yeah. I did say I rigged it with camera traps.
Wait, were they audio? Were they recording audio?
Sure. I don't think Kaiko
Oh,
would
no.
fuck that up.
Oh no.
Like, maybe we shouldn't poke that yet, Kaiko?
Oh, I'm not.
Just keep that one in your back pocket.
Oh, Kaiko is.
Meanwhile,
Kaiko should look over her chest for
yeah, that's a good place. If you guys have nothing left, we'll cut back. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice. My good friends, you follow the blood trail past Spindling headquarters into sort of like the outskirts of town that leads to eventually the garbage dump. The little trail doesn't go to the dump. It actually goes to this little patch of trees beneath 35. Do you see a little patch of trees?
yes.
For some reason, some of them are faded, but there's a little patch of trees there. You go in there, and eventually you find one of the blood trails leads up to a tree.
Well, that's not good. They could give us an ambush at any second.
You see anything, General?
Kaiko's gonna text him about the flamethrower thing.
Text, we got flamethrowers. Have fun.
How did you get flamethrower? Many question marks.
I assume YouTubers.
Awesome. I would like everyone to make a read a bad situation check. Who is present?
Ready?
Which skill is that?
Sharp.
It generally uses sharp, but you may have something that lets it use something else.
I mean, to be fair, mine says sharp.
Yep.
So I got a 7.
I got a 9.
11.
Alright, if you got 7 through 9, you get a hold of 1. If you have a 10 or above, you get a hold of 3. The questions you may ask are, what's your best way into the woods? Pretty obvious. What's your best way out? Also pretty obvious. Are there any dangers you haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to you? What's the best way to protect those who are endangered?
What is the best way to protect those who are in danger?
Get the fuck out of the woods.
And,
Alternatively, equally best if feasible, catch the thing that's lurking in the woods.
Okay, another any hidden dangers?
Are there any hidden dangers you haven't noticed? You look up in the branches now that you've seen what the blood trail's there, and you look around for a bit, and eventually you see, sitting high in the branch, a beach ball sized thing that's clinging to the branch with long, multi-jointed legs, and staring at you with one big, eerily human eye. It's in the shadows of the leaves, but it is hanging above you and it is clearly watching you all.
Celia points up to it.
Oh. Yeah,
Well, that was easy.
That's bigger than the last one.
Yep.
Yes. Alcohol reaches into his coat pocket and pulls out a sledgehammer.
Wait, what? Did he just pull a sledgehammer out of his pocket?
Yes.
Yeah,
The creature raises itself up on its 6 thin, spidery limbs, and like turns its head even further down. Its body even further down to stare at you all.
How do we get it down?
I don't think we should use a melee weapon against that thing.
I
only have this in my feasts.
only have a bat.
I have
Oh,
this
wait.
can of hairspray and a
Okay.
lighter.
It's staring at us, right?
Wouldn't that set the forest on fire?
Very intently, with a big wide eye.
Yep.
Zoe's gonna pull out our camera and set the flash to maximum and flash it in the eye.
The thing's eyelids snap immediately over it, and it starts to lose its grip on the branch, but snags it back before it can fall. But its eye is closed really tight, and its body is sort of like, it's clinging to the branch securely, but it's sort of hanging, like the torso is hanging loose a bit, and it's clear it did not like that. The photo comes out, and actually, it's pretty clear of this meatball monster with spidery legs and a big human eye.
Guys, I think it's getting used to us now.
Well, then there's only one solution. And Elkodal picks up the hammer and swings it at the tree.
All right, cool. It's like 20 feet above you, just FYI.
Yes, he is at the tree.
Okay, cool. Just making clear. Awesome. I would say this is a...
Kick some ass?
It's either a kick some ass or an act under pressure. I will allow you to choose at your discretion which of those you use.
I want to do act under pressure because I feel like cool would technically be more situational.
Yeah, you're not hitting the thing itself, you're hitting the tree to try and knock it down.
Oh,
I got a 4.
Awesome.
Oh no.
On a miss, things go to hell.
Oh, great! What have you done?
Okay, cool. Now everyone gets to act under pressure.
Oh no.
You hit the tree with the sledgehammer, and you hit it real fucking hard with luchador strength. Turns out this is a somewhat old tree.
Oh no.
And you hear a creaking, and like the hit, you knock a chunk, like a big chunk out of that tree, and when that chunk like just splinters and flies everywhere, there is a loud groan from the tree, and like the splintered like wound that you've made into a tree side begins to tear open just under the sheer weight of the tree. So everyone gets to do an act under pressure to get the fuck out of the way because it's coming down.
Oh no.
Luckily, this time I got a 10.
I got a... Oh no! I got a 6!
Awesome.
My act under pressure is a -1.
Anyone else? Celia, what'd you get?
I think he stepped away.
Crab baskets. Well, okay. Tree's about to come down. Let's cut back to Bunker Pals.
Bunker Pals. We're driving away from the bunker, aren't we?
Casey.
I got a 9.
9. Awesome. So on a 9.
Oh, wait, should I roll for the general?
Yeah, you should.
Okay.
The general gets a 12 and acrobatically leaves you the fuck there.
He gets a 7.
Okay. Did anyone else get a 7 through 9?
I
Celia
did.
got a 9.
You got a 9. Cool. So Celia and the general, all 4 of you are trying to get out from under the tree. El Coatl manages to do it perfectly because he's a luchador. Zoe trips and falls. Like she sees a tree coming down and she tries to move, but her legs just like fail her. Like she trips on her own shoelaces or something, and she falls to the ground instead of ducking out of the way. The general and Celia, you have enough time to get away, or you have enough time to throw Zoe out of the way.
I'm going to use the never again option to choose to protect someone without rolling, but may not choose to suffer little harm.
So you're going to protect Zoe from the tree?
Yes.
Oh.
That means you're going to take the damage.
Wait.
I still have armor.
Okay.
The general has no limits. Could he, like, knock them out of the way?
Let me look at No Limits a second. No limits. When your physical body passes limits, 10 or more, your body obeys your will. The limits of physical possibility for a moment. 7 to 9, you do it, but you suffer one consequence. So the general could, as Celia goes to shield Zoe, making the hard choice of deciding to use her success to save Zoe from harm, the general could use no limits to pull you both out of the way, provided the general gets at least a 7.
Oh no!
What did the general get?
A 4.
What's the general's health point threshold?
We didn't give him. We just have it with the regular character sheet.
What's a normal person's threshold?
3 is normal, then into 4, 5, 6, and 7 are.
Dying.
7 is dying.
Okay.
You can use a luck point.
What's a luck point?
Oh,
Luck
luck
points.
points. You change rolls immediately to 12.
Okay.
But luck points are finite. They do not regenerate. And if you run out of luck, bad shit will start to happen. So luck points are something you want to conserve. But right now, you guys have a tree about to fall
Yeah,
on.
I'm gonna burn one of Zoe's luck points. Wait, should I burn Zoe's or the general's?
To make it a 12?
Yes.
Either one would work to solve the situation.
I'm gonna burn one of Zoe's.
Alright. Okay. I don't think the general has luck points anyway, because he's not a player character. He's a player character's animal companion. Okay. Zoe burns a luck point. You're down 1 luck point. I think you only have like 5 normally. Is that correct?
You have 1, 2. I think you have like 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Some,
You have 7.
some classes, like each handbook is different. I think the mundane has one of the most luck points of any class, or handbook, playbook. Yeah.
I'm gonna look up the playbook.
Luck points are important because not only because of a situation like this, but like if you run out of them, they are important. Okay, so you burn a luck point, which allows everyone to get out from under the tree safely. It changes your bad roll, and everyone can now get out of the tree safely and doesn't have to make a hard choice. Huzzah! As you guys look at the tangled mess of tree that has fallen down, you see trapped under several of its branches is the thing. And the top of its meatball body is just spurting those spores constantly as its eyeball frantically rolls in its socket. You also see that, unlike the previous meatball that you caught that was pretty much just raw muscle, its exterior is covered in a thin layer of skin. Not thick enough that you can't see the muscle beneath it, but enough that you can see the muscles tightly packed rather than just sort of, having all of its filaments sort of dripping and all that. And it's no longer dripping blood. It keeps spraying puffs of spores until eventually you can kind of see the gland of a little orifice that's spurting the spores out. Eventually the puffs get less and less until finally it runs out. It expels all of the spores that it had, and the trees are just covered in that viscous green slime.
Hey Celia, you still got that disinfectant?
Yeah?
Can I see that for a second?
I'm not sure it's gonna be enough.
Can I see it for a second?
Celia hands it to her.
She just splashed it on the thing.
Alright, you splash it on the thing and all the spores around it. It eats away at the spores, and it also, clearly stings the creature's flesh, as, it doesn't make any noises, but it's struggling even more so to get out of the trap it is in the branches. Because it's essentially like a very hardcore bleach. It burns the creature's skin, not in a Two-Face way or an alien blood way, but just in a sort of a oh god that stings to the touch sort of way.
Do we have any ways of containing this?
You just gave the creature a mild acid burn.
Celia holds up her hairspray and lighter.
I mean,
I
that's
mean-
a tree, Celia. I think we'd like the forest fire.
It's a fully branched tree.
Yeah, it's
Has
a fully
leaves.
branched dead tree.
Fair enough. What do we do with it now?
Well, what did your friend say? I know you have your instant communication devices that I am not aware of.
She's gonna call Kaiko. Kaiko.
They said burn it, but where are you right now? Where are they in relation? And how far away are we?
Kind of close to Drake's house, really. Like, kind of close to the cemetery, like in the trees between the cemetery and the rest of the town.
Look for the down tree. I accidentally broke it.
You almost killed us, El Quaddle.
Wait, you're close to Drake's house. Like, how close to Drake's house?
Yeah, they're by the Melody Methodist Church. They're in the trees by the Melody Methodist Church.
Close enough that he would probably spray us if he was here.
Oh. We could go. I could go run and steal one of their trash cans. And, you know, I'm sure
Should
the
we
church.
burn it?
Should we
Also,
burn
how
it?
are you talking to them?
I'll explain later. Do we need the bodies, or can we burn it up now?
We need, burn the, Mothman said to save the bodies, right?
You said to bring all 5 creatures with you when you go back to the witching hour. That it would be best to have all 5 together. He didn't say why or in what condition. He was enigmatic and vague.
So we can kill it.
Yes.
Well, the one we have is dead, so yeah.
Maybe.
Does anyone have something to bat out the flames to keep them from spreading?
Alcoada looks at a sledgehammer and looks back.
Close enough.
How far away is the rest of the group?
Or I have my coat here. And we will set it on fire, and then I will pat it out with my jacket. And he takes off the jacket, and of course, there's no shirt on underneath. He's a luchador.
Okay, let's figure stuff out first, guys. It's not burn.
TT, how far away is the rest in the car?
We're on our way in the
like-
car, so...
Like, I mean, so you guys were in some path in the woods between Hal's house and the park. So I'd say that looks like maybe like a 10-minute drive.
I don't know if we'll stay here for 10 minutes.
Well, we will toast it lightly so it stays.
I mean, you guys can just keep watching over it until they get there.
I mean, this is fair. I do have my sledgehammer, and it is a large object. And I have my feasts, which I am much better at than with the
I
sledgehammer.
don't think you should punch this thing. So,
That's like telling a fish not to breathe water.
you saw those spores? It would just turn you into one of them. God, imagine how big it would be if it came out of you.
I will take that as a compliment, thank you. I work very hard for my physique.
You're kind of giant, so...
I am not a small, high-flying luchador. No, I am the 7-foot-tall variety. That is also still high-flying because they're a luchador.
So, while you guys are doing this, I'm gonna go steal a trash can from a church.
Okay,
Drake's house is nearby. Steal one from him.
Which is closer, Drake's house or the church?
They're both about equally far away, which is to say
Okay.
not very far away at all. It's like a hop across the road.
I'll go to Drake's because I can explain to Drake what happened once we get Drake back from the witching hour.
Also,
yes,
he deserves it.
She's gonna jog to Drake's house.
All right, you drive to Drake's house, and when you get there, you see a delivery man with like a van, and he is just pulling out an entire pallet containing boxes of Eggo waffles.
Duplo waffles.
Yeah, Ooplo waffles. Just, all right. Last one for this week. Okay. He gets back in the van and drives off.
What the fuck? Just walk up to the Ooplo waffles. Just be very confused by their presence. I'm sure Hal likes some waffles. She grabs a box and then grabs a trash can.
Meanwhile, the Mothman is just watching the little waffles licking its lips.
Okay, so you go around back to find a trash can.
Mhm.
And you go around and you find Drake has those really great big like trash containers, the ones that have like wheels. They're plastic, about the size, big enough to fit a person inside.
Ooh, those ones.
Yeah.
She's going to stop, use her bat to nudge each of the trash cans.
They are heavy and do not move.
Don't know if I could get these to the thing without dumping out the trash.
Do you look inside?
Hesitantly.
Okay, you open the one that's labeled like trash, and you see it is full of Ooplo waffles. just the waffles and the plastic bags that contain them.
What the fuck?
Bastard!
I mean, he's getting a pallet of these a week. Do you think he can even eat that many?
He can share them!
With all his friends?
Yes!
Who remember to call him over when they're meeting for monster hunting?
Okay.
Shut up!
Maybe Drake's life is kind of sad. You guys thought about that?
Aw.
Maybe Drake doesn't have a group that he belongs to. You guys thought that over, huh? Maybe he doesn't feel like he's got anyone to share his Ooplo waffles with. Maybe he needs to be included more.
Okay, this is getting too on the nose.
Anyways, do you check the recycling?
Yes.
Okay, the recycling is full of Ooplo waffle boxes.
At least
Just dump it
separates
out!
Which actually don't work as recycling because they have that laminated stuff because they're supposed to be frozen, so Drake's not doing his trash right.
He's trying, though.
And he's making an effort, but these just get thrown out anyway, so...
She's gonna dump the boxes.
Yeah, so you put the boxes in the trash?
No, she's gonna dump the boxes out of the trash.
Just dump them out. Okay.
And, just gather them all up in a pile.
Alright, you just dump out and gather them up in a pile. Now you have an empty recycling bin.
And she's going to bring that to the others.
Okay, so having pushed one of these before, it's very big and unwieldy. It does not like being pushed despite having wheels. If there's even a slight bump in the road, it will try to veer off. It's not fun moving this
I've dealt with
thing
these
around.
trash cans before.
Yeah.
I deal with those every week.
Why do you drag them?
Yeah, you drag them, not push
Yeah,
them.
you can drag them, sometimes, but it's harder to steer when you drag them, and your dad has put a bunch of road rocks next to the driveway, and when you're going past the cars, it's actually a very narrow spot, so you really gotta do that very slow and steady, or else you're gonna drag across a rock and undo the fucking rock formation, and then you're like, oh fuck, I'm gonna have to move a rock later, and also the trash can almost spilled, and it's just pain in the ass. And then when it snows, just fucking don't even ask. So yeah.
Too real, not to me every week.
Anyways, you get after some trouble, you get the trash bin. You're heading towards the woods, and you see the car with the bunker pals pulling up nearby.
Oh, okay.
Alcothel is sitting there at the tree.
The creature is still stuck. It is stuck, and at this point, it's just sort of angrily glaring at you and Celia.
Celia has taken several selfies with
With the creature or Alcothel?
It has not smiled in a
Yes.
single one of them, despite not having a mouth.
Do not look at us like that. You are the one invading our world. Is this my world? Just kind of...
One of its limbs finally breaks free from the branches, and you see that on the tip of it, there's a vaguely, there's 3 human fingers collected in a little ball of tissue. The fingers don't have nails on them yet. They're, and if you know anything about the structure of fingers, there's not actually muscles on fingers. There's just tendons and bone. And the muscles on the palm of your hand pull on the tendons to move your fingers. Interesting fact. That's why fingers are just terrible eating, because tendon is not delicious. It's not very nutritious. It's very bad for you. It's just bone and tendon. It's just not great. But anyway, it has 3 fingers on this hand, and it lifts that hand up and curls 2 of the fingers so that the middle one is standing alone.
Flipping you off!
Celia makes sure to catch that.
So you can understand me. Interesting. And like Alcodal crouches and gets a little close, like, have we met before? And I can roll something to bullshit this all together, if you would like.
What? What exactly are you rolling? Explain to me the mechanic you have discovered, because that sounds like nonsense to me.
It is complete nonsense. I could roll investigate.
I know that the mystery-solving kid can, at any time, depending on a feat that they have, like there's a thing that they can where they can unmask the monster and reveal it was Old Man Jenkins all along, and then roll to determine whether or not their deduction is correct. And if they
do not have
it is, and it was Old Man Jenkins all along. So, do you have a mechanic like that allows you to have a pre-established history with the monster, or are you bullshitting me?
I am bullshitting you.
Although, as a wronged class, I am supposed to have history with every single encounter. And if El Coatl is my old sensei, maybe we can bullshit something.
Oh my fucking god.
No, I have nothing I can bullshit this with. I would have to be flying by the seat of my pants.
I guess we'll just let that linger for a while and decide whether we're going to follow that thread up.
No, I do not know this one. Do you know this one, Celia? No?
She squints. She just narrows her eyes and doesn't say anything.
What's going on here, guys? So he comes up with a trash can.
It did vomit on one of your friends. That is one way it's wronged you.
That is one way it's wrong.
Guys?
The thing freed an arm, used its fingers, and flipped us the bird.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you see, the creature is still flipping you all off. It sees you, and it moves its hand so that its hand is flipping you off now, Zoe.
So he's gonna grab a sharp stick, walk over, and get it, slowly bring it closer to its eyeball.
The creature doesn't flinch. If anything, it holds its hand higher.
Alright, we're here with the flamethrowers.
What? Oh,
Okay, so...
Is that thing flipping you off?
Yes, it is. I'm gonna stab this stick into its eye. Does anyone care?
Fascinating.
Does anyone care if I stab this into its eye?
It might emit spores. It has a spore sac.
I have a hazmat suit. It
already
used up
Do
its
you want to
spores.
clean it?
It used up its spores.
You can't see very clearly, but the area around it is covered in a ring of spore goop that's sort of drying on the wood, and then directly around the creature, the area is mostly clear because someone seems to have splattered some disinfectant on the creature. Its skin is covered in mild acid burns, and it is flipping you off without fear.
Nobody cares?
Part of my Luchadorian code says this is a sentient creature, and as all sentient creatures deserve proper and honorable combat, I should do this. On the other hand, it is also a virus. And there's not rules for that.
Hal sees the open container, the open recycling container.
And I'll Codal without a coat on.
Drags it closer, ignoring that.
Also, we, since we came from the bunker, we got more actual containers.
Did you?
Excellent.
Yeah,
We didn't-
specimen bags and jars.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay, then Hal opens one of the bags, and grabs the thing by the middle finger, and throws it in there.
Okay, you gotta pull it out because it is trapped by branches.
Here, Alcotl will roll something to lift the tree.
Isaac standing by
Okay,
to done it.
El Coatl,
Okay.
you gotta roll, I guess help out. Help out would make sense to me.
Yep, let's see what I get. Oh, a 12.
Awesome. 10 plus, your help grants them +1 on their roll. In this case, I'm going to say you do actually lift the tree up, and the creature, you you then realize looking at it, its legs are broken, save for the one that's crawled out. and its
Oh.
body is like horribly bruised.
Ooh.
I do
Like,
apologize.
it did not take the tree falling on it, or rather the tree falling with it and then on it well. And
I am
it
sorry,
flipping you off is very much an inert sense of defiance.
I am sorry. I did not mean the tree to crush you so horribly.
Don't apologize. It's trying to take over. It's assimilated people.
I would rather fight it in honorable combat than crush it with a tree and
It's
have it be a
made
weird
of
cripple for
people.
the rest of its life.
It's not gonna live very long.
Don't panic, kid. It's going to try to escape containment.
It spat spores in my face.
Never apologize for compassion, Coatl. That's what you taught me.
Okay, so you
Did
can...
another?
Hal, you put it into a bag.
Yes.
While they're arguing, you just put it into a friggin' medical waste bag, and you guys tie it tight, and then put that into a containment jar. You kind of have to squish it into there a bit. You kind of have to like stuff it, but like luckily its body doesn't have a lot of bones in it, and the bones that are there are mostly broken, so you can just sort of. Eventually, you have it jammed tight in a jar.
Is it safe in there?
Its
Alright,
its eye is sort of kind of moving. It doesn't have a whole lot of space, but has enough space to move its eye. It doesn't look happy.
Okay, can we break his hand before we're done?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that when you lifted it up by that arm, you kind of at least dislocated it.
Good job, Hal.
It was holding it out. It was the only thing I could reach.
Good job, Hal.
Alright,
The
So-
handle.
mi amigos, we have found out wonderful information. The specimen escaped from the hospital and scuttled around town to the car lot. And then one from the car lot scuttled out over here. Now, I'm not sure if this bigger specimen than the one before is the one from the car lot or if this was the original one.
You guys will note that when you before you destroyed the crime scene, there was no blood there. So
There was no blood at the crime scene, so
and it seems to have taken some time for a person to go from getting infected and being hollowed out by the creature, given that, but the truck accident happened at night and the body was only found split open in the morning. People have presumably checked on the person in the hospital bed between then and then. So probably takes at least a few hours for these things to gestate. So whoever got skunked in the car lot probably left the car lot before the thing popped out of them.
Okay, we need to find out where all 5 of these people picked up at.
How many do we have right now?
This is our second one, but there's 3 more, maybe more.
You got one that skunked someone outside the sad meats. Or burst out of someone outside the sad meats. Horrible
Yes.
place for a person to die. You got one. This one came from the hospital. And then someone got skunked in the car lot. So, theoretically, you got car lot guy and 2 others. And if you listened to the Stinger last session, you probably know where at least one of those others dropped. But your characters wouldn't have no way of knowing that, so... You got some breadcrumbs. But hey, 40% done.
Guys, we have a problem. I think one of them is beyond the 4th wall.
that is not the wall you lightly play with, Celia.
Is that how you got trapped in the TV?
Oh,
That's
and
still
you
a
guys know that Dr. Masters knows there are 5 victims because the hospital has called her to talk about she knew that there were 3 bodies and there are 2 others as well.
Oh, might she know where the bodies were picked up at?
That's a good question.
There would be medical
I could text her and ask.
there would be
Yes.
medical ledgers and registry of where everyone was.
Picked up at. We could ask
I
her.
should not go back by the hospital. I promised the police officer I would not go back over there.
Yeah, we can't go over there.
Why?
Yeah, we're kind of not.
They saw
points-
El Quaddle?
He points to his massively ripped self, like, do you see this?
Yes,
I would only be a
Hal.
distraction.
Yes, Hal, do you see that?
His eyes kind of skip away as soon as he looks over there. Every time he looks over there, they just kind of dart away as fast as possible.
Okay, yes. Isaac, could you call your friend, no, text your friend and find out if she can find out where the bodies were picked up? Because
Yeah, I'll call my coworker.
yeah, we could go to those places and try and find any blood trails at those places.
All right, I will give Dr. Mallory Masters a call.
Dr. Mallory Masters, who's this speaking? If you are those people trying to sell me a condo again, I swear to God.
Not today.
Isaac?
Yeah. Wait, why would I ask her for her phone number? I'm talking to her on the phone right now, implying I have. Never
Yeah,
mind.
when probably gave you the phone number, yeah. Isaac, I
yeah,
should have put you in my phone, shouldn't I? Damn it.
Share her phone.
It's been a day. What do you need, buddy?
Do you have the information of the victims on where they were at? We're trying to track down, the infectors. We managed to catch one already.
Yeah, it should be in my chart. Let me see. And you hear the sound of like papers rustling, and it's like, yeah, okay. First person truck accident. Second one that came in, used car lot apparently. Let's see. Got a body that was found outside of Glad Meats.
We have got the
I think it's
Glad
called
Meats and the car lot.
Let's see. We've
We have the
got
hospital one. We don't
one.
have the car lot one yet.
Yeah, we got a
Apparently-
hospital.
Are we sure? Yeah, close to the car lot.
Janitor was found at the radio TV station.
Oh no! Stop, Mr. Smicarla!
Let's see. And the final one was found in Little Bethlehem.
What?
It's a year-round Christmas store, apparently.
Oh no, not there. Zoe's having war flashbacks.
I think I heard
Clarky
Christmas
was
music when I was driving through town. I was wondering where that was coming from.
At least it wasn't the Halloween store.
Two of these are pretty close to Spindle headquarters. That's interesting.
Oh. We don't hear that, I'm sure.
I mean, yeah,
It's on the
doesn't
phone.
have it on speakerphone.
I almost said he did, but he didn't.
So
He thought about it, but then he remembered who he's calling.
yeah, if you're looking on your map, that means places that were hit were the highway, F-17, M34, normal 34, and where is the radio station? It's somewhere near City Hall.
Did you repost the map?
Not today. Not today, but it's somewhere in the files and shit. 31. So 31 is, yeah, it's right there near City Hall. Not too far from Sad Meats. You can kind of picture how they all just sort of boop, 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 boop.
I'm sure Isaac has had a map out and he's like pointing at the different spots as she's looked for them all.
And so she's quiet for a second. She's like, two of the bodies were found. They didn't burst open until the hospital. She pauses for a
They
second.
escape.
How many trails have you found leading out of the hospital?
One.
Just the
We're
one.
only-
So we ordered a greater presence there as soon as the first corpse was found. I'm guessing the other two probably wouldn't have been able to escape detection.
Do you think they are still in the hospital?
I mean, I don't know how intelligent these things are. You guys caught one with a trash can, so I'm thinking they can't be that smart, but who knows? If they are clever,
The other one was hiding in a tree.
Bag.
they might be hiding until the heat dies down. And then they've got a whole bunch of people trapped in beds that they could spray spores into.
Yeah, so they could be potentially still hiding at the hospital. Oh, here's a bad thought. Do we know if they need living tissue? Because there's a whole morgue under that hospital, isn't there?
Well, they'll need living tissue. This thing was keeping its host alive. The husk still had some signs of life when it exited the bodies. It was tricking the scanners, so they definitely need living tissue.
All right,
So-
that was not good news.
I
At
would
least this one
guess
stopped
it might be
flipping us off.
trying to assimilate more than just the biology. It might be trying to assimilate some of the behavior and thought patterns as well. That's a
they do seem to be
hypothesis, though.
learning.
That's pure conjecture. It's not like these things are like using human gestures or anything.
It flipped us off.
Fun fact. Yeah, fun fact. I don't know if you heard them in the background. The thing is,
I did, yeah.
it looked like it grew a hand for the purpose of flipping them off after they collapsed the tree on it.
Yeah, if they weren't trying to assimilate us, I'd think that'd be pretty funny.
Honestly, it kind of is if it wasn't so grotesque.
The question is, how would we get inside the hospital if it's cordoned off by police?
No,
Yeah.
Celia did have a concussion.
Where are you guys right now?
We're by the church.
Church and
Yeah, we're
graveyard.
over by the church and graveyard.
Oh, I should bring Shrek
The
Trash
Methodist
Can
Church.
back.
There are multiple churches.
The Methodist
Uh,
church.
All right. I'm like 4 blocks away. I'll
should
come
put on
meet
my-
you. I'm heading from. Can you pull the phone close? I'm gonna whisper a second. I'm at the.
Yeah.
I'm at Tomb of Twilight comic book store. So I'll meet you heading from there. Just look for me on the road.
I'm gonna bring Shrek's trash can back to his house real quick. Don't tell him I did this.
No promises.
Part of me thinks he already knows.
All right. Well, we'll meet you there.
No, you'll meet me between there and here.
Yeah, I get it. Yes.
Yeah,
We'll meet
okay.
you along the way.
All right.
So he's gonna bring the trash can back to Drake's house.
All right. Anything else you guys want to do before you pick up the doctor so you can get into the hospital?
I should probably go put on my coat back on before I get somebody all hot and bothered. He goes over to like the tree branch, he kind of chucked it on, like, don't mind me. Puts his coat jacket back on. There we go. All right, I am good. He puts the sledgehammer back in his pocket.
Oh, I still have a hold from the earlier investigation, don't I?
Yeah.
The area where we found this one. Is there anything we haven't noticed?
Okay. Yeah, as you bring the trash can back, you just look at some of the other trees, and you do find that one has like a dried spray of slime.
Oh,
Say probably, you could guess it was probably a few hours ago because it is dried completely, whereas the recently sprayed dried slime is only kind of congealing. It's no longer like, it's not nearly the sort of coat of paint that this tree has gotten on, which would allow you to infer that someone was passing through these woods when they got skunked.
so one of our victims went through these woods, guys.
That's not good.
probably someone going out for a jog. Maybe they wanted to get lunch later. They went to Sad Meats.
Oh.
They had sort of a violent physical reaction, which is a normal thing to have after you've eaten at Sad Meats, but it didn't go... it went even worse than normal as they went to the alleyway, and then...
Aww.
A shame. There's no
That
this morning.
isn't the first person to die in that alleyway.
Not the first person to die clutching at their throat outside the Sad Meats, that's for sure.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
Just so anyone who's listening knows, Sad Meats is an Arby's. It's an Arby's.
Yeah, I know. Former child of 2 billionaires who watched his parents die in that alleyway.
It's a Sad Meats.
Melody Batman.
How do you know my origin story?
You had a television show.
Oh, right, we filmed that episode. It was easier than explaining the truth. I believe we borrowed it from somewhere, but no one could tell me where.
All right. You get the trash can back to Drake's place.
Throw some cleaner on that spray.
All right. You throw some more cleaner on the spray. You get back to your friends. You hop in the van, and you find Mallory. She's actually not that far from you. She made pretty damn good walking time, all things considered. You find her outside of the Artful Dodger thrift store. I'm sorry, that's a little too far. You find her outside of the Elegant Cadence bookstore. It's had the same number of syllables. That's fun.
Hey, there's a comic book shop around here.
Huh. I wouldn't know.
I'm guessing we're keeping the
That's where I've
contained
seen
specimen in the back of the minivan. It's probably the only thing that has room, because I don't think Hal's gremlin can fit that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
it could
so.
if we fucking squished it.
We don't want it to get out, though. I mean, not that it could do anything at this point, I suppose.
It's rather brutalized.
All right.
So
yeah, you fit the thing in, and Mallory's like, "So, hospital, huh?"
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
at least 2 of them there?
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see how much of my cred can get us here.
I don't think we should all go in. Some of us are kind of on the watch.
She looks at you in the hazmat suit and El Coatl. Yeah, that seems smart.
Yeah,
Hold on. Celia says, hold on a second. And then he just removes the hazmat suit.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Camouflage.
We found 2 of these things in the hospital. There should be 2 of these things in the hospital. Then you've got 2. The 5th unaccounted for one would be at the radio station.
So
Or at least that's where the husk was found, so it was last seen at the radio station, so that's where you're going to find a trail.
So some of us should go to the radio station.
I will go to the radio station so that we do not get caught. I do not get us all in trouble at the hospital.
I will go with El Coatl because I will not take this thing off.
I guess I'll go with them. They're probably waiting for me.
Would Hal have to go with since he's the driver?
I have a motorcycle.
Who go hospital? Who go hospital? Me need know.
Isaac would be at the hospital.
Isaac go hospital. Mal go hospital. Anyone else go hospital?
Kaiko
go hospital. Anyone else go hospital?
I was going to go to the hospital, but I don't know.
Hal go hospital. Who go radio station?
El Coatl.
El Coatl, Zoe, Celia.
Kaiko hands them flamethrower.
All right.
Oh.
Where did you get it? Yeah, you didn't answer that.
You can hand them 2. Internet.
El Coatl holds the flamethrower like
Mallory says internet.
Oh, that makes sense.
I get to go back to the old
Isaac rolls
station
his eyes behind
and
the
light
mask.
things on fire. Excelente.
Isaac gets a little worried, goes to the trunk and pulls out the mini fire extinguisher he has in the emergency road kit and goes, take this.
Of course. Passes it to Zoe.
Oh,
So who in Team Radio Station has 2 flamethrowers? One is El Coatls. Who has a second?
Yo.
Celia has a second.
Zoe freezes them and we burn them. This is how it goes.
All right. So Celia
Yeah, I'm sorry.
has a second flamethrower.
What does Zoe have now?
She has a fire extinguisher.
Okay.
And a cat.
And the
And the
cat,
cat.
yes.
And also, Kaiko's gonna give them a containing device.
Yeah.
Excelente.
She's going to have the general carry on his back. I'm sorry, General. I only have 2 hands.
You don't know the general's language, but you get the feeling that you're going to have to get him some real fine fucking wet food after this day.
Yeah, you deserve it, General.
He needs the good shit after this.
This is a brisket kind of assignment.
Look,
Yeah.
General, I understand. You will get the best, but I'd rather you be in this than get something popping out of your neck. God, imagine if it came out of you. It'd be bigger than El Coatl.
I'm not sure if that's a compliment or an insult.
No, that's not a compliment or an insult. That's just a fact. see
You
how
are a
big he
very
is?
large man.
No,
How
no.
big is this
Zoe's
cat?
saying the one that pops out of the general would be bigger than El Coatl.
Yeah. It's a very large cat.
Let's go, I guess.
Excelente, let's go. And I will suplex the specimen back in my old studio. It will be like old times.
As they leave, I gotta get that doctor's phone number.
Oh, do you have a crush on the doctor?
Shh, let's go.
Celia gives Zoe a knowing pat on the shoulder.
Let's go.
All right.
I will help you in your cause, friend.
Let's focus on the monster.
So I'm gonna
Matchmaker.
flip a coin to see which one of these two I'm going for first, because my brain's like, I don't know who has had less time at the moment. Okay.
That's like a good split so far.
All right. Hospital group and who wants evens and who wants odds?
I'll take evens.
Okay. Hospital group is evens. Odds is TV group, unless anyone opposes.
Nope.
No.
Okay. All right. Hospital group.
Yes.
Okay. You get to the hospital. There are still police there. You get out. Mallory has put back on her lab coat, but she has stayed in her high tech body tight suit. She's just put on a couple more formal pieces of attire, and she has the gas mask on. And she goes up with the police officers and says, "Sirs, Uli and what is his name? Brain. Someday you'll have these all memorized." Uli and Jake both look and see a woman in a fucking space gas mask suit and lab coat approaching them and is like, "What is it with cosplayers today? I'm Dr. Mallory Masters." "Yeah, sure, that's a great anime name." She flashes him an ID. "Oh." It's like, "We've had an ongoing biohazard here. I am the chief pathologist." "Is that why you're dressed like a space man?" "Yes." "Oh. Why do you got 2 teenagers and a accountant?" "Wait, weren't you guys involved with the kidnapping a couple days ago?" Mallory looks at you all. What was that, Isaac? You were a little quiet.
Sorry. As he's just like, no.
Kaiko is in a full hazmat suit with a opaque.
Yeah,
Okay, Kaiko. Yeah,
They're
I
all-
guess if
as
you're
I-
all wearing it, then yeah, never mind. There's no reason to question it.
Mm-hmm.
And you got fucking flamethrowers.
Well, I imagine Kaiko
actually.
has. I imagine they
was
have
there-
like a bag or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's probably cases for like carrying equipment at the medical bunker that we could have stashed them in. Like,
Oh yeah,
oh, these are our medical equipment.
Kaiko knows not to draw the attention of the narcs.
You guys have kept people out of the wings where the infections happened, correct? Yeah, the staff complained a lot because it's a lot of people to cram into one section of the hospital. But yeah, we've kept it pretty clear. Good. We're going to need you to keep those people absolutely clear. We're going to de-infect those wings, and once we are out, they should be open. But we need everyone absolutely clear and away from the area. Okay, yes, ma'am. Good boy. And she taps him on the jaw. It's like, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And you guys head into the hospital, and like the nurses and orderlies look at you guys coming out in your fucking hazmat suits. The people who are there for like a routine checkup look at this like, what the actual fuck, and just see you all marching into the wing of the hospital that's been like cordoned off without explanation. There's gonna be some fun town gossip today. All right, you're in a hospital. There's some monsters hidden in a hospital. This is gonna be fun. So
There's a thing loose in the hospital.
There's a monster loose in the hospital.
Is that a reference to something?
There's a horse loose in the hospital.
It's a famous improv.
There's
skit.
a horse in the hospital.
The horse is also Donald Trump.
Okay, so
Would investigate or read about situation be?
I would say right now, investigate a mystery. Actually, on either one of them, because there's monsters in them. You can use either one of them and get some interesting questions. I'll leave it player's choice. You know that there are 2 meatballs probably hidden and trapped here by the presence of people searching the grounds.
All right, that is a 8 plus 2, which is a 10 on.
It was read about situation or investigate, right?
You can do either one because I think they're both kind of relevant at the moment.
Kaiku's going to use her 10 for investigate.
Okay. So you got a
I'm
10.
gonna read a bad situation using cool, which is a professional ability.
Oh boy.
Okay, so by this point, I'm going to trust you guys to know the questions you want to ask and how many holds you get. On Investigate a Mystery, you get a hold of 2 and for 10 plus, and a hold of 1 for 7 through 9. On Read a Bad Situation, I believe it's a 3 for a 10 plus, and then a 1 for a 7 through 9. But let me check to make sure.
Can I
Yeah, that's right. And hopefully you guys have the questions written down somewhere, so I don't have to read them all over again. Tell me your scores. Let's go with Kaiko first, because you were the first one to ask about doing a thing.
Hold on, I'm looking for where I have.
Okay, whoever's got their shit sorted out first can go first.
Can I use my read a bad situation because I got it?
Yeah.
Are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
Alrighty.
Absolutely, there are 2 monsters hidden in the halls of this facility that you are now currently walking through. You don't see them at the moment, but they are here in these halls. Like you can tell that much. I'll give you that.
reading a bad situation? I'm gonna just go ahead and ask, where did it go with my 10?
Okay. I think that's an investigation, isn't it?
Oh, are we doing read a bad situation instead of investigation now?
You can choose which one you want to do.
Yeah, as I mean, none of the bad situation questions are really like things I need to know right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would say one person. Yeah, one person doing like splitting, like having some of you do one and some of you do the other is smart.
I found it.
Okay, so you're gonna ask, where did it go?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you pace the halls and eventually you find one room where they're clearly like where there is one of those little drippy droppy trails, and you go into the room, you look around, you find the drippy droppy trails. At one point, it crawled, like you can see, it crawled off the bed onto the floor, was making you towards the window, took a sharp turn, went under the bed, and you look under the bed, and the thing's not there, thankfully, but there is like a large pool of blood staining there. And then there's a fainter trail, as if less blood was dripping from the creature, up the wall, and reaching into a vent. And you realize that a vent at the top of the room has been pried open. And the trail leads up there. So it went into an air vent, an oddly wide air vent. It seems the creators of Die Hard also designed this hospital. So one creature was in this room and went up into the air vents.
We got a problem. Hal kind of points at the vent and goes, I don't think it's contained anymore.
Too bad we don't have the general with us.
I wouldn't let him go in there by himself.
So, my Die Hard joke, of course, Die Hard is one of the most famous movies as a person crawling through the air vents.
Am I able to get in there?
A smaller person than you could probably fit. Hal's kind of big.
Would Isaac fit? Isaac's kind of a short, stout person.
I think Isaac, let me look here. I think Act Under Pressure probably would allow you to.
I think Kaika would be the smallest one there, unless Isaac's a short.
Isaac could do it with an Act Under Pressure roll that scores well enough. Kaiko could probably do it real easy because she's a slight young woman.
I've seen Alien. I know how this goes.
Yeah, I don't really want to send you in there.
Yeah, and it didn't help work for the captain in Alien either.
Fair enough.
Alright. Yeah, I'll go.
Okay. Gotta make an Act Under Pressure roll.
Oh, with my last roll, that was my 5th experience because I had cool marks.
Okay.
So, did I roll that after the end of the game?
Yeah, after the end of the game. End of the session.
Okay. Then, let's see. Act Under Pressure. Ew, no.
What'd you get? You got what?
8.
8?
7.
7.
Oh,
7.
Can I help him?
Okay.
Sorry, was I cutting out?
Yeah. Yeah, you can help out if you want, Hal. Because what's going to happen is that he gets into the air vent and then gets stuck. Which by definition is a worse outcome than crawling through the air vent, is crawling into an air vent and then getting stuck.
Okay, I got another 10. He's fine.
Okay. You push him past the stuck hurdle, and Isaac is able to start making his way a bit better in the air vent. He just got in at a weird angle is all. So Isaac, you are now crawling through the air vents.
We try to find the other while he's looking for.
Okay.
Yep. So.
Does Isaac have his shock probe?
No, but he's got a flamethrower.
True. I don't think that.
I probably gave it back to him.
If Isaac is holding it out in front of him, which would probably be smart anyway, it'd be fine. He could sort of wiggle. It'd probably be one of the reasons why he got stuck initially, is because it's just kind of awkward figuring out how to make that all work.
Alright.
Yeah.
So you're inchworming through the vents. It is tight and dark and dusty to the point of being hard to breathe and claustrophobic.
Yeah, Isaac's remembering he's claustrophobic.
Yeah, it is a fucking nightmare.
Oh no, it's making me claustrophobic. Just hearing it.
You're cramped and you have no place to go. You're not even sure how you're going to back out. And how are you lighting your way?
I'm assuming there's a pilot light at the end of the flamethrower.
Yeah, okay. So you got the flamethrower.
Also, he would have the glasses, the night vision glasses from the first.
He would, yeah. So you're looking along, and eventually you see an obstruction at the end of the airway. And
Does it look like it's made of metal or meat?
You get closer, and it is indeed made of flesh. In fact, it is made of. It's a round ball covered in human skin. And it's wedged real deep in here.
Do these hazmat suits have like a radio? Or like, do I have a Bluetooth on my phone?
I think we can BS so you've got like a Bluetooth device because that would just be very helpful with your job.
Yeah, probably staying in contact with everyone going, well, I found it. I'm about to toast it. And light it up.
Okay. Before you do that,
like this is such a bad idea.
Before you do that, let's see what the others are doing while you've been crawling in the vents.
Looking for the other one.
Kaiko and Hal, you've been looking for the other one.
I'm going to use my hole to...
Okay.
Where did it go?
Where did it go? You search around. You find another room that has little blood splatters, and like the room that Hal visited, something got off the bed, was making it for the window, stopped for some reason, did a sharp turn to crawl under the bed. Sat there for a long enough while to leave a very large blood stain. And this is when you notice that like some of the furniture next to the bed, like the little bedstand table, is sort of like been pushed aside. The bed is slightly at an angle. It sat there for a long while, and when it got up, the little pinpricks of blood are very small and faint. But you're the kind of person who fancies himself an independent forensic investigator, so you're still able to follow them. And you notice that it went out, it shuffled around, and eventually it like scurried into a neighboring room and hid in and terminates in a waste bin.
Is Masters with us?
You don't know where Masters is at the moment. She's also been searching for the creature somewhere in the hallway.
Kaiko gets on like, I found it, I think. It's in a waste bin.
Did you see what room number you were in?
What's the room?
It's B34.
B34.
All right, I'm on my way. And like in 30 seconds, Masters comes into the room and like, who has the second flamethrower?
I do.
I do.
It's like, so it's in the trash can.
Light it. I mean, I didn't didn't look, but that's where the blood leads to, and
we need Hal or Isaac.
I imagine Hal was with me.
Okay. Yeah.
Little occupied.
So I can point the flamethrower at the trash can, and I look at both of them and go, "Are you sure?"
And this is when you hear Hal say, or Isaac say, that he's found the other one in the vents and is about to light it up.
Well, I guess so.
3, 2, 1, toast.
Awesome. Do you both go at the same time?
Yes.
Awesome.
Sure.
You light up like. Masters throws open the lid of the waste bin, and you see like this bulging flesh creature in there. Its eye opens and sees you just as you hit the flame. Isaac, you do the same in the vents, and in 2 seconds there is a siren, and sprinklers fill every room of the hospital. In the vents, Isaac, there is an ungodly scream when you burn that thing. Like, there is just a shriek. Like, it is full on, like, the hospital scene and the thing, which I didn't even intend to homage today, but here we are. It is full on hospital scene in this thing where the scream is just a god-awful unearthly sound. And the smoke and the fire, like the fire flares through and like it's heating the metal walls around the creature as the creature just like it goes up like a fucking Roman candle, like it was made of tinder. Like it bursts into flame and smoke like fills your vision. In the hospital room, you light the thing, and even though water starts pouring down of you within seconds of you lighting that flamethrower and burning that thing up, it burns faster than the water can put the fire out. Like, these things are intensely flammable. In fact, it takes a full 2 minutes, like even after you've shut off the flamethrower, for the water to finally stamp out the flames. And once they're done, for both of you see there is just a withered, blackened husk of a thing. Just 2 very overcooked meatballs.
Guys, can we take a quick break so I can get Shannon?
Yeah,
Yes, we can.
I need to go put my pizza in the oven. So
And when we get back from the break, we'll go to the radio station.
Nice.
It's terrible that my brain just immediately went, oh, they must have been made in China if they're that flammable. Fucking... Alright, I'll be back too.
I can't wait to get into potential detailed Codal lore later on.
I'll be right back too.
That did not go. The tree thing did not go well.
No, that almost was a disaster.
Yeah, I am extremely worried now.
Someone could have died.
I would be damned if it was the general.
I mean, to be fair, Celia wasn't going to jump in. Alcodal was. Because I have an entire thing of damage? I didn't take damage. You're crazy. Literally, it's part of his abilities. Let me look at it.
Well, I wish that
Machismo. You think that really hurt? By force of will, you can ignore the pain and injury. When you suffer harm and just tough it out, roll plus cool.
I wish.
And on 10 plus, I heal 1 harm and gain plus 1 forward. On a 7 or 9, I just heal 1. If I'm pretending to be tough and I fail, I get an extra damage. In an embarrassing way, if possible.
I wish you had said something before I almost got the general really hurt.
You guys were in this whole thing, and I'm like, Will was like, Alcodal safely dodges away. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess he's like, ah, shit, I knocked down a tree.
Again, I'm sure.
Those tree dodging reflexes are hard to fight.
I'm just excited for when he's going to go back to his old movie studio and be like, man, of all the things that changed the melody, how did this one stay the same? So we've toasted 2, dissected 1, and contained the 4th. Only 1 remains.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You are now 80% done. At least when it comes to catching them. I guess only 60% done when it comes to killing them, but I'm not sure if that's an objective. I mean, I am sure whether or not that's an objective, but I don't want you to be.
I do just enjoy playing a random luchador. It's great.
Yeah, he's pretty great.
Fun and weird.
I gotta get him commissioned just so we have like a visual reference. It'll be great.
Him fighting his mortal enemy, Mr. X.
Alright, I'm back. What joke I missed?
Nothing, we were just talking about what's been happening in such and so far.
But yes, we may have an opportunity later on to have the random El Codal backstory I have cobbled together that I'm not even sure I've shared with TT. I gave him like the base synopsis.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that we're gonna make more up as we go. It's the nature of things.
Yes. Also, that is a beautiful anniversary shop, and I wish I could go to it.
Oh God.
Hmm.
They've got
They got so many plushes. Well,
they got the Rathian, the Rathalos, the Velcana, there's the Tigrex up there, there's the Nargacuga, there's the Glavenus, there's the Banbaro, there's the Brachydios. All those new ones that like Western retailers haven't even gotten yet. They're all there.
We have confused what?
I posted a tweet that had a thing for like a gift shop that is celebrating the 50th anniversary of Monster Hunter.
Yes.
And it has many of the new plushies that I'm looking forward to getting.
Also, TT DM'd you a private question.
Oh, okay. I gave you a response.
What do you want, Brat?
So TT, the uncomfortable breakdown of why fingers aren't good to eat. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What?
Needed that.
I found it informative.
You shouldn't eat fingers. They're just tendon and bone. It's terrible.
Is this 50th anniversary shop in Japan?
Yeah,
Oh, the plushies!
I know. Supposedly those plushies will be in American retailers eventually, but the wait is just terrible. Brachydios, the Banbaro, I need them. The Tigrex, I don't technically need it, but I also need it.
I don't have a Tigrex yet. I need it.
I have only one Tigrex, and I want more, so I need it.
I don't have any.
You are in more need, but I still am in need. I have a mighty need.
Yes. Oh, you're making me look at my things again, TT.
Mm-hmm.
Shady also showed me a Chameleos, which is $64, so I'm probably not going to get that one. But still, I can't wait for the day that you finally see Chameleos in action, TT.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're going to fall in love with it.
I imagine I will as well.
It's got such lizardy movements. I love it.
I'm wondering... So I know they're going to be releasing some more monsters, and I'm wondering if I should delay my safari until then, or should I just finish it? Because like, they might be...
Wait, we're we're at least to the variants coming up next.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not getting photos of every variant.
Yeah,
I'm only getting photos of new creators.
With the variants, we might have some hints at what comes next.
Ah, that's true.
Which people are guessing Aroshi Kirin and Rusted Kushala. I'm hoping for Raging Brachydios.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not hoping for them. That's my most objective evidence.
I'd prefer I prefer Raging Brachydios because I like Brachydios a lot, and I want to make an armor set with it that's actually top tier. Brachydios armor is good, but it's kind of outclassed at this point.
I probably want a higher tier of Nargacuga.
That's a good point. That's a good idea. There's the green Nargacuga.
Because Tigrex has both Brute Tigrex and regular Tigrex with the Tigrex essence, and I want just better armor with the Nargacuga essence.
That's a good point.
I know no one wants Molten Tigrex because, from the sounds of it, no one enjoyed fighting Brute Tigrex so far.
Well, Raven liked fighting him.
He was fine.
But, I would like Molten Tigrex. 3 Tigrexes for 3 Wraths.
Like that's. I'm not against Molten Tigrex, but I would like some of the ones without variants to get some before we get.
That's also fair.
Yeah, like the Wraths, okay, they're the flagship monsters.
Yeah, that's fair. And I do think like Nargacuga and Barioth and Brachydios could use a variant.
There is a Sand Barioth who could be in the Wildspire, and there is a green Nargacuga. I don't know what the green Nargacuga
Poison.
its habitat is.
Poison.
Like its habitat is its habitat any different?
It lives in the swamps, but basically can be wherever other Nargacugas are.
I imagine.
A swamp would be a real fun, different location they could add the monster.
We could also get the other variant of Nargacuga. That would be fun.
Silverwind?
No, not Silverwind. The other variant. That was, I'm trying to remember what the hell the name was. But it could go invisible.
There was an invisible one?
Gee, that would suck to fight.
It fucking sucked to fight. Yeah.
When was that? What was that one in?
3 Ultimate.
That would be awful.
Yeah, I'd be like fighting fucking Predator.
Oh god.
It went fucking invisible and it was like, goody.
Ah yes, the sweet sounds of my roommates dying.
But yeah, I think since Juratotus isn't in the Guiding Lands yet, I imagine one of the things we need to add is some sort of swamp or water area.
God, imagine if they surprised us with Laggy.
They did say a fan favorite monster is coming.
I'm leaning towards Fatalis on that one.
Yeah, me too. Just because they seemed to showcase like a new model for it with that big anniversary thing.
Yeah.
And I think it would be one of the things that would have like a lot of oomph after Safi Jiva and Shara Ishvalda.
God, also, we're getting Arch-Tempered monsters. Imagine Arch-Tempered Shara Ishvalda.
Yeah, you guys can have fun doing that on your own.
No, I'm not doing that. Nope.
The only thing I like about Arch-Tempereds is the layered armor they give.
Yes, like I now have the Arch-Tempered Xenojiva, which we beat the other night. It lets you make the handlers closed.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was just as bad as Nora thought.
It wasn't as... No. It was not as bad as I thought. I was right that we could do it. And we did it at a disadvantage with 3 people.
It was still bad.
It was bad, but not as bad as I was expecting it to be. I mean, I did die twice.
No, Nora, you're expecting it to be... It's high rank. It's fine.
Look,
that was what you were expecting.
Look, we fought Arch-Tempered Kieran and Arch-Tempered Zora Magdaros and Arch-Tempered, Val Hazak. Xenojiva and Val Hazak were the worst.
Yeah, I can believe that.
That being said, Arch-Tempered Xenojiva, very fucking pretty.
Yes! So
sure.
pretty.
Here it is. Lucent Nargacuga.
Okay, before he gets
Nargacuga has the ability to turn invisible and perform a double tail slam like its green relative. It can also extend its spike by shaking its tail, even when not enraged. While in this mode, all of its tail attacks can cause venomous spikes to fly out, and it does toxic poison.
Oh.
So it goes invisible, you can't see where it is. And then it can slam you from out of fucking nowhere with fucking toxic poison.
That's awful.
Lucent Nargacuga was a fucking nightmare.
No, thank you. I mean, like, more Narga for better armor would be good, but, like... That fight sounds...
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I'll be right back.
How can we make a fast, nasty hitting monster even worse? Let's just make it go invisible. Yeah, you just can't see it. Have fun with that.
I'd prefer not. Yeah, I'm gonna say no thank you. I'd prefer not to on that one.
Most people who played the 3rd gen also said that. But we got it anyway. All the shit was really good though. You know? Don't want his good shit?
Sometimes the shit's not good enough for the price you pay.
Yeah, Fatalis is also foreshadowed by Safajiva just remade the environment to suit its image like we do. So if we hunt a Safajiva, what's something that hunts us?
Most things in the Monster Hunter world?
Well, specifically to slay us.
Most things in the Monster Hunter world? Everything in the Monster Hunter world hates us.
Except the pigs.
But I know what you mean. You're meaning elder dragons.
E. And Elder Dragon's meant to destroy us, which that's Fatalis.
I'm interested to see how they're going to do that fight. If they're going to do it as a raid fight, or if it's just going to be a normal one. If he's in there.
Both. Both. It's going to be both.
Well, now we know Uli Prowler also has perverse sexual lust for El Coatl.
That's a bit more nuanced to his character. Closeted.
Yeah, I'm still processing that.
Also, do sprinklers go off in a whole hospital or just in the wing, that specific wing?
Just that wing. You can't. Like, I don't think you can shut down an entire hospital. I think even getting most people out of like one wing would be difficult.
Yeah. So the sprinklers only affected one wing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Oh, on plus side, job's 80% done.
Maybe.
So, do we trust Mothman?
No.
We trust to do what he says he'll do.
I mean, has Mothman ever put a twist on something you did of him that you didn't expect
Yes.
and had unforeseen circumstances? I don't think so.
He caused this entire thing to happen by playing the banjo.
I mean, maybe. That's one way you could look at it.
Alternatively, I'm trying to figure out like what El Coro know the Melody Mothman.
No.
No. Would the Melody Mothman know Alcohol, though?
Yes. I mean, the Melody Mothman knew all of you when you first met him.
He hasn't met him yet.
And that disturbs Kaiko because of reasons.
I mean, I think it would disturb any sane person if a giant monster started speaking to them by name without having ever talked to them before. You know, that big 7-foot tall, like, you know, hell muppet starts addressing you by name and you've never seen it before. I feel any sane person would go, wait a minute, something's not right about this situation. This implies some things that I'd rather not consider.
Oh, Hal already knows that it just kind of watches him in the house, so he's like, okay. This just adds another layer. When you live by yourself in the woods, you kind of get used to weird shit, or you go crazy.
Are you speaking from experience?
Yes.
Do you know your local Mothman in Scatha?
There's no local Mothman in Wisconsin. They have better taste than that.
So then what do you know that lives in your woods?
Hide behinds,
Bears, cougars.
Most things.
Bigfoot, the Beast of Bray Road.
North of Scatha, if I remember correctly.
Hmm?
Bray Road's north of you, isn't it?
Bray Road is south of me.
South of you, yeah.
We should go visit sometime.
The Bray Road is very south.
You'll have to drive through it for G-Fest.
Yeah, that's true.
Depends if we are able to go.
Be right back.
Speaking of updates on that, so I got a hotel room nearby, which is good. The downside is it's a commuting hotel, and I've never taken.
Right?
Cut.
Yes.
You
Robo.
about it.
Yeah, Mecha Coatl was speaking to us for a second there.
Mm. Okay, my apologies. It's bouncing between my 5G and my regular internet, and I don't know why.
Hmm.
But yeah, so I'm at the commuting the one that has the shuttle between back and forth between G-Fest.
Mhm.
So it's one of those. I just need to figure out the details on that, so I'm not accidentally stranded at G-Fest for an entire night.
Yeah.
Pizza in the oven.
What do you mean in the grand scheme of things? I don't think would be too bad.
Mhm.
The
got
floors
your
at G-Fest are comfortable.
You got your
I
hotel.
mean, worst case scenario, I'd just let you stay in my
Also,
bedroom.
did Melody have its own Beast of Bray Road?
I'm pretty sure there's a wolf man or dog man of some kind in Melody. If not, there will be.
Give Will a minute.
Because the dog man is my state's cryptid, and as such, I have a particular fondness for the archetype.
Right.
I mean, to be fair, my archetype's already in the Wax Museum, so. I feel like in Indiana, all it's got's a giant-ass turtle.
My home one is the Jersey Devil. So
La-di-da,
Meanwhile,
you're
my home.
fucking cool.
Meanwhile, my home is take your fucking pick.
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot's kind of the big one from California.
yeah,
We
I
also
mean,
have
granted, there are
cowboy-
Bigfoots everywhere, but like the big Bigfoot sightings happen mostly in California.
Yeah. We got the fur trout in Lake Tahoe, Tessie.
we need to do a game sometime where we're all based on our local or like hometown cryptids, or at least close to it.
So I'm a turtle.
Yep,
Gotcha.
I'm a Jersey.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not playing as a dog man. If I'm playing a cryptid game, I'm being a Nessie. I don't give a fuck. We have one. It's not a super famous one,
Oh, that's
Pressy is
fair.
ours, and I am being a Pressy. Because even though Dogman is more representative of Michigan's cryptozoology, I am not being a fucking Dogman when I could be a Nessie.
Understandable.
Yeah, that's fair.
My options are like the one Bigfoot sighting, big old turtle, or like this one weird fishman monster that popped out of one of the rivers, ooga booga'd up somebody, and then like jumped back in the river.
I've got the Dewey Lake monster, which is a Sasquatch. I've got Pressy, which is a Nessie. I've got the Dogman, Lemonheads, and we have various UFOs. We don't have a lot of unique alien sightings, I don't think, but aliens would be on the table. It just wouldn't be any of the really big notable like singular species like the Flatwoods Monster or the Mothman. It'd have to be like a more generic little green man or gray.
Which is
Yeah,
still
most-
fun.
Yeah, still fun.
Yeah, most of California is all different shades of Bigfoot. Like, dude, all of our tribes are super fucking unique to a point that in anthropology, California is its own region because it's like a mixture of 8 different language groups and hundreds of different tribes in our state alone. And they
Hold
all
on.
have their own unique Bigfoot story.
Hold on. I have more? Okay, so apparently,
I am back.
Hey,
Okay, well-
welcome back.
we will dive into that at a later time.
Yeah, we'll dive into that later. Okay, so at the radio station, Celia, Zoe, and El Coatl and the
Are we all here?
yes.
I want them to say it.
Okay.
I'm here.
Yes.
See,
Callie.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Now Casey has the moral high ground of it.
Isaac is typing.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
So everyone is here.
Yes.
Okay. At the radio station. You guys go to the radio station, doors are locked. And there is no one parked inside because it's been closed off.
Cool. Question. Would El Coatl have a key from the 80s or 70s?
I
And
don't know.
would that-
Would you keep that while surfing with television waves, fighting monsters?
There's no reason he wouldn't not have a key on him.
Okay, then you have a key from the before times.
Does it work?
You take out the key, a key you have held for a very long time.
I look to my friends and go, I am not sure this is going to work, but at the same point, there's public access.
You insert the key into the lock. You take a breath and you consider the weight and momentous importance of this action working out, and you pray to any god that will listen as your fingers grip the key. And
Hey guys, the
slowly
window's open.
but surely you twist it and you unlock the door. And no, the window is not open. A guy was found horribly passed out in the basement. You're gonna leave a fucking window open? That's insane. There's a health hazard. The hospital's got the police down there.
El Coatl opens the door. Man, they really need to get better. They need to update their locks.
I can't believe that. Where'd you have that key from?
Back when I filmed the show?
Wait, you filmed it here?
Yes.
I mean, it was a Melody public access show. There's not that many places they can film.
Zoe didn't think of that. I knew that. You know that.
Zoe
Zoe
didn't.
didn't know
So we
that.
can- Yes, I filmed it here. I wonder if the old studio is still set up. Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
I mean, that'd be kind of cool if it was.
Suddenly, 3 pterodactylish vampires emerge from the studio. Time to collect your debts. No, I kid.
I was prepared to roll.
All right. You open the door to the dark, empty studio / radio station.
Oh, it's dark. Is there a light switch?
Yeah.
She flicks it on.
You turn on the lights and you see you are in the reception, booth of the station. There's a secretary's desk. There's a waiting area. There's like a potted plant.
I am.
Are there cameras?
No, this is where people come in to wait to be directed to where they need to go in the station.
Like security cameras.
Oh. Read a bad situation.
Oh no.
I mean, we are not technically trespassing. I have a key.
That's a good point.
They cannot arrest somebody who has a key to the front door.
Hey, that's a fair point. But I did get 8.
Okay, read a bad situation. So you can ask one of the questions in a read a bad situation roll. Best way in, best way out. Any dangers you haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to you? What's the best way to protect the victims?
What's the biggest threat?
In this room right here.
Mm-hmm.
There is like one little black ball on the ceiling of a security camera. You don't know if it's loaded because it's not shining a light or doing anything to indicate that it's on, because that would kind of defeat the point of a slightly hidden security camera. But there is a security camera.
Right.
Are we gonna get in trouble for this?
Why would we get in trouble? I have key. He holds up key. We don't have to be in trouble.
I'm trusting you, El Coatl.
I mean,
Do not worry.
It's not like you destroyed a crime scene or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just means that if you guys do anything that causes significant property damage while you're here,
They'll know.
a camera has recorded that you came in here after the building was closed because of a health hazard. Nothing wrong with that.
To be fair,
No possible repercussions of that happening.
to be fair, you have 2 people in hazmat suits with probably tinted masks.
And one dressed as a
As a
luchador.
luchador from 50 years ago.
From 50 years ago. Airtight. Let's go.
A luchador, which I imagine, would still has film grain over him.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, literally, who are they going to find?
Yeah, no one's face is visible, so you're fine.
Lead the way, El Coatl.
Yeah, everyone's
Lovely.
fine. It's all okay. Nothing to see here.
Besides, as long as we don't break anything, we won't get in trouble.
Yeah, it'll be
That's how
fine.
that works.
I don't know why you guys are so on edge about it. Yeah, nothing could go wrong. Oh, okay. So, there's a bunch of rooms on this level. You also see there are stairs leading to a level below. Like a basement, essentially. It's not a huge radio station and broadcast station. El Coatl, your set of keys, there are multiple locked rooms in the station. So you have the key to the front door, and you also have a key to where you recorded your show, which was in the basement.
Well,
If you want to get into other rooms, like, say, the room where they broadcast the local news, stuff like that, the actual radio station part of the facility, you're going to need other keys.
and that is understandable. So we are going to do where the keys go first, and then we will break locks. It makes sense. They used to film the show back downstairs, and he leads them to the basement, and he goes to the basement door and puts his key in. Does it unlock?
You're robot, little gray.
Son of a...
But I understood you. You go to the basement. You walk down the stairs, leading the other 2 behind you. and you head towards there. There are two. There's like a hallway and some minor rooms, like a janitor's, custodian's closet and all that. But there are two main studios downstairs, studio spaces rather, in the basement. And you go to the one that your show used to be on, which was Studio A.
Mm-hmm.
You unlock it. Door opens fine. You peer into the room. And things have changed somewhat, but not as much as they should have in a proper and just world. Namely, the carpeting that was kind of old when you were filming in the 70s, it's still here, and it's...
They could have changed the carpeting.
It is gray and worn. There's the cigar stains from when that one producer came by. The one who was seeing if he might put you on PBS. He opted not to.
Did you know I almost got on PBS? And that would have been fantastic. But unfortunately, the producer was not the best of people.
You're sort of looking around. You see the room within this room where they kept the costumes and props. You look in there, and there's a lot of painting easels and things.
The room has so much character.
And there are there's also a whole bunch of puppets in here. And
Celia begins taking photos. Yeah.
Hidden amongst the puppets, you find, buried deep beneath them, the mask of one of the pterodactyl vampires. They're not actually literally a pterodactyl; they're just vaguely pterodactyl-esque.
Yes.
It's got a head. It's got these two big pointed horns and an elongated, vaguely reptilian, vaguely bat-like snout. Where the snout is sort of like a beak, but there's teeth in it, like a good classic Harryhausen pterodactyl sort of, and the teeth are sort of long and curved.
You own this technically, don't you, Alcoatl?
Ownership is a funny thing.
So if I took this, would you care if I took this mask?
I wouldn't, but I don't know if the studio would. Given that it was buried underneath over 15 different costumes, probably.
I mean, Alcoatl, you were an actor on the show. You didn't finance it.
Yeah, it's I didn't own this.
If you take it, you think anyone will ever notice?
No, probably not.
That's a fair
I know my show have been on reruns for forever. You vanish for 50 years, they don't exactly keep you mainstream.
I'm gonna tuck the pterodactyl head mask away.
Alright, you have gotten one Alcoatl vampire mask.
In any case, the thing we are hunting is not in here.
No.
Sure about that?
Any blood signs anywhere?
I will roll read a bad situation to make sure about that.
Or investigate.
The way... Oh, fucking hell. Got a 4 again.
Awesome. There's no penalty if you fail, so you're fine.
Or we'll kick some ass to kick this mystery's ass.
So it was in a potentially other room. Now, if what I remember Drake telling us, they were in the basement. If they're not in this studio, they might have been in the other one, and it may still be unlocked.
That's true. I mean, would a cop really worry about locking the door on the way out?
Not for the basement door, no.
To the basement, I guess.
We're in the basement.
Touche, Alcoatl. Touche.
Alcoatl, odds or evens?
Odds.
Okay. Alright, you go to Studio B, and you put your hand on the door and try to open it. It is locked.
I could try lockpicking it. Try to pick the lock.
Okay.
Or we could go try and see if someone left keys up at the secretary's desk.
they'd leave?
I would rather us look and find keys and use them than not leave the keys that are up there and then get in trouble.
Celia, what do you think?
I think I definitely don't already have my bobby pins out. And we should do what El Coatl says.
Because we would rather confirm that there are not keys that we can use and put back than break locks.
I mean, you don't break the lock by picking it.
I also don't trust these to be good locks.
That's fair.
My keys still work after like 50 years. And they were not exactly new doorknobs 50 years ago.
Alright, let's go check the desk.
Alright, you guys go upstairs, and you start searching through the secretary's desk. Let's see how big a mess you make.
I will roll and investigate. I got an 8.
Be right back.
Okay,
And look, I guess it's mostly just, he opens the drawer, he closes the drawer.
I got a 9.
I got a 9.
Okay. You know what? Those are all good enough. So just one is good enough. Like you only need a hold of one to really figure it out. So what's being concealed here? Specifically, you're looking for those keys. You rifle through the secretary's things without messing too much up. You do find the keys, and I'm going to let you go ahead and keep those 2 remaining holds instead of making you all spend the same one to find the same information.
We will spend alcohols for
Okay.
this idea.
Sure. So you find the keys,
Huzzah.
and they're even labeled, so you won't have to rifle through like each one until you find the right one. You can just
Excellent. Now we shall go check Studio 2.
okay. Studio B.
B, yes.
You open the door to Studio B.
I wonder what show this is.
There is a coffin / couch, a couch shaped like a coffin that's been opened up at the center of the stage there. There's a bunch of monster suit props, including 2 more of those El Coatl vampires. They've been refurbished. These ones have been refurbished and modified. They look a little bit less pterodactyl-y, but you can recognize the costume pieces.
I can appreciate that.
There's like
Oh my god, I never noticed that. They reused those masks.
There's fake tombstones, and a whole bunch of like set pieces and props. And you see in one corner of the room there's a cabinet that looks like sort of like a not even a camel, more of like an armoire, a thing that you would store outfits in. A classy thing though, not like just a simple closet. There's a couple of big cameras, an editing desk and all that, a waste can, some more like drawers and things where props could be stored, and some other like little set piece things. Like there's like a big spooky tree that upon closer inspection you can see that there's like little pop out bats and things, all stuff to give the Makarla, Mistress of Midnight, show some pizzazz.
Oh, I love this show. The framing device can get really weird sometimes, though.
Yeah.
Are there any traces of blood?
Okay,
Yeah,
please.
there's so
Please don't let Mistress Makarla be hurt.
Well, if she is,
there aren't. I'm gonna have to actually have you do an investigative mystery to find any traces of blood, because there's no obvious traces of blood.
me and Celia both have a hold one.
Yep.
9. Oh,
So you can also just spend your hold if you want. It would just be to get more questions to ask while in this room.
It doesn't really matter. It's the same roll either way. Yeah.
Okay, so you have 3 questions between Celia and Zoe, unless Zoe rolls another investigative mystery, that you can ask while in this room.
What is being concealed, I guess?
Okay. You search up and down, and you find that while someone cleaned up the bloodstains here, there is like a small trail. You can find spots here and there, and you see that whatever was in here did not leave when someone came in here to clean up. So like. The creature is still here.
Guys, we're not alone in this room.
Oh. Is
Like
there anything-
someone found a guy on the floor, and someone, like after the guy was taken to the hospital, or rather the corpse was taken to the hospital, someone cleaned up a bloody mess.
Being hunted.
And did not find a trail to follow, essentially. So while the blood was mopped up, there was nothing for someone to follow. So whatever is in here stayed in here.
Being hunted, Celia says, putting a large asymmetrical Australian hat on her head.
Alcoatl cracks his knuckles. It's like, excellent. Perhaps we will find a worthy combatant in here. Although I would hate to destroy this set. It is a very wonderful set.
Yeah,
So
let's
you've
not
got-
destroy the set.
You've got 2 more questions you can ask. And, well, you've got 2 more questions you can ask, and you have a list of questions that you can ask.
Back.
What is it?
What's the biggest threat?
What is the biggest threat? The monster. The little meatball thing. It's in this room somewhere.
What are our other question options?
What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? And you've asked what is being concealed here. And you
Where
have
did it
asked
go?
what is the biggest threat. Okay, where did it go? Okay. So, you search around the room and sort of narrow it down to a couple of options. What could conceal these things? You've seen one that's had a while to grow, and you've seen one that was very fresh. You're going to assume this is one of the probably one of the larger ones. So it would probably be in either the armoire. It's probably too big to be in the trash can at this point. It's like an open air trash can, so it's not even a very good hiding spot. So it's either in the armoire that contains the outfits, the big spooky tree, which is hollow, or one of the cabinets.
Let's not split up and check them individually. Let's start with the tree. Let's start with the tree.
I see my education traits have not left you.
So
Okay.
we're going to aim the fire extinguisher.
And you guys are wearing hazmat suits except for Alcoatl, who is dressed like a luchador.
Yes.
How are you approaching that tree, gang?
I don't. Okay, me or Celia should open it because we have the protection.
Alcoatl is taking up the back to give a good swing with his sledgehammer.
Okay, good.
Celia?
Celia prods inside the tree with the barrel of the flamethrower. Wait, no she doesn't because it has a pilot light and that would set it on fire. No, she doesn't. She prods the inside with, I don't know, something nearby she can pick up.
Use my hammer. I will use the flamethrower.
There's a bunch of props on a table, and you could use the hammer that Alcoatl is gesturing, or there's also a cane with like a faux silver wolf's head. It's actually made out of like aluminum, but you know it looks like silver enough on the screen.
She uses the cane.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You use the cane, you poke around the tree a bit, there's a bunch of holes, and eventually you feel something squish. You poke it harder, and yep, there's something squishy in there, and you hear a scrabbling sound, and emerging out from the top of the hollow tree is one of those meatball things. It's got a big cyclopean eye, and it's got these long, lanky limbs, and the limbs terminate in tiny little human-like hands. And it's covered in genuine human skin.
Sprays it
Waddle.
with the fire extinguisher.
See?
You hit it the fire extinguisher, all 6 of its limbs flail, and it falls off the tree onto the ground, and it's covered in the schmutz, and it doesn't know how to fucking react to that. Didn't like it, but it also now can't see because you just got it right in the eye, so it doesn't know where to spray its juice.
Quick, break its limbs.
I'm gonna roll kick smash.
You're gonna roll kick some ass.
Actually, since this may be my only combat move, I'm going to use my signature move.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Tell me what that mechanic is.
Okay, so essentially I get a finisher. I roll something plus tough. On a 10 plus, you do 2 harm and take a forward. On a 7, 9, you do 1 harm and take 1 forward. On a miss, your opponent counters the move.
Okay.
So I rolled, and I got an 8. So I'm essentially I'm doing the Serpent's Grasp, Serpent's Might. Sorry, Serpent.
Okay.
So essentially,
You
You're roboting.
son of a bitch. I'm trying. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with my internet. Hold on a second. Okay, that fixed it.
Okay.
So yes. So essentially I had to make an actual physical move for this. So he's going to go to the thing, grab it like in a fireman's carry, right?
Tell me again what mechanically a 7 through 9 does for this.
Okay, 7 through 9, you do one harm and take +1 forward.
Okay.
So essentially you're going to grab it in a fireman's carry, pick it up, and then I drop it head first.
All right.
Celia has stars in her.
So essentially, you're doing this like a luchador, but it ends up feeling more like a basketball move because of the shape of this thing. You grab it up and you just fucking slam it onto the you fucking dunk it onto the ground.
Yes.
It lands on its eye, it fucking bounces, and then bounces again, and then just sort of rolls a bit before landing, all of its limbs splayed and kind of lightly flailing, not like a furious flail, but more of a when a person's moving their limbs vainly trying to get up while they're staggered.
Celia, put it in the containment thing.
General, where's the containment thing?
Celia just upends the containment thing over it.
All right.
Celia sprays just a quick burst of the fire extinguisher into the containment thing before we close it.
All right, and you just sort of cram it in there, and congrats, you took 2 of them in alive. Da 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 da.
That was awesome, El Coatl.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Fucking dunk this thing.
I'm just happy we have not done a single thing. I was very worried we were going to have to get into physical fist-to-fist combat. And Alcoatl's like, alright, let's clean up. And he'll make sure the cane goes back, and the door is locked, and the keys are back in.
Celia makes sure to douse the cane in disinfectant.
Yeah, check inside the tree for any mess and clean up in there.
Yeah.
Disinfectant. We do not want Mistress McCarla getting sick.
That's good. Yeah. Luckily, there's no sign of the guy getting skunked. So clearly, janitor guy got sprayed elsewhere.
Okay, so I guess we go find the others now?
Yep. But I want Alcoatl to do something in particular. Make sure the doors are locked, he puts the keys back, and I'm roboting again like a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Not
And,
that hard, though.
as he leaves, he looks at the camera and he does his Alcodal pose from the old days before he leaves and locks the front door, turning off the lights.
Good.
And he looks to his friends Celia and Zoe is like, "What, viral marketing?" Okay, I'm good. So we go to the bunker.
And Celia. Zoe texts Kaiko and the rest that we got the last one. How is the stuff going at the hospital?
All right, back at the hospital. Isaac, you awkwardly drag both the flamethrower and the charred corpse of one of these little things out. It is a smell. It is a smell you are dealing with right there.
I'm so glad I already have a mask on. But even so.
I want you to imagine, like, the stench of disease. Like, the stink of, like, pus and vomit and a body that's been overheating itself in a desperate attempt to kill microorganisms inside it. And just all that good, nasty stuff. And then I want you to mix that smell with, like, burnt, rotting meat. And that's what you're dragging in ball form with you as you finally climb out of that air vent. And your friends have that same stink, but in a trash can, so it's better.
I'm not crawling into an air vent again.
As soon as
Ever
you
again.
guys take these things away, I'm gonna Ralph, Dr. Master says. She's a pathologist, and even she thinks the stink is just awful.
So, somewhat in character question.
Yeah.
How, if there's only one, so the thing that's been gassing people in Melody, there was just one of those, and it did it 4 times.
No, each one can gas people.
Yeah, one started, gassed someone, that someone popped a new one out, and then that one didn't.
Monster number 1 gassed at least 2 people. One in the car lot, one in the forest. The monster that you guys caught in that one alley came from a person who died in the sad meats. The person in the car lot was taken to the hospital. Whichever one gassed the two people, their monsters got stuck in the hospital. 3 were roaming outside. One of them must have gassed the janitor. One of them gassed sad meats guy.
No.
Or another guy, like point being, there were 3 running around outside gassing people. And 2 who didn't get the chance to escape the hospital to gas, and two that, one that escaped the hospital to begin with, and 2 that broke free of their host before their host was taken to the hospital. Probably because their host either didn't go to the hospital when they started feeling their neck get sick, or didn't make it to the hospital when their neck got sick, and then were left in a spot where the thing was able to burst free because no one stumbled upon them until after they had already succumbed. Make sense? Okay.
Plus, we still don't know what the initial, what skunked the truck driver, patient 0.
Yeah. But hey, you got 100%. You got all 5 little creepy crawlers.
Creepy crawlers.
Yay.
Woo!
So what's your next stop, gang? What's the next step of the journey?
We were headed towards the bunker.
I don't think Alcotal's been to the bunker yet, so. He's
Okay.
just going to follow his friends.
Hospital gang, what are you doing? Because you have 2 corpses now.
Well, Hal's shoving them
Bag 'em
into
up.
a bag, yeah.
And then into one of the carrying cases.
Mallory looks as you guys are packing up, and she's like, so just to be clear, you need all of the carcasses.
That's what he said. All 5 in one place before we.
Then what I'll do is get the security tapes for this wing so no one knows what happened here and destroy them as per police protocol. And do my best to make up a good excuse for my higher-ups. She says while giving a knowing glance to Isaac. Trying her
Isaac
best.
just kind of shrugs.
Well, good
What
work,
you gonna
team.
do?
And Mallory takes off to take care of that. Those of you who are actual player characters, what do you want to do in Hospital Squad?
Go to the
Load
bunker,
up
I
the
guess.
specimens and head back.
Yep. You telling people you're heading there?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Just making sure, because I figure we should establish things. All right.
Sorry, meeting.
Yeah, everyone heads back to the bunker.
Yeah.
And, yeah. You're at the bunker. And we can end the session there if we're kind of losing interest.
Sorry, I'm eating. I have to go
yeah.
get my food.
I'm
Yeah,
just,
that's fine.
I've got the edge of a headache. I'm just trying to make it go
Yeah,
away.
I think it's almost 11 where I'm at. We've been at this for quite a few hours now. You guys caught all the minions. We have a clear idea of what we're going to do next. You got to get to the witching hour because Mothman gave you that objective. And we'll start with that next time on Tolkien Off the Rails. Okay.
I was gonna correct you, but then I almost said Conquered Melody, so
Yeah.
You should have corrected him with Conquered Melody.
Almost was Conquered Melody.
Back in Carla's apartment, or rather Miranda's apartment.
Actually, see you next time on Journey to Gym now.
All right, yeah. Miranda's scrolling through YouTube videos of Loch Ness Monster documentaries. Sort of laying back, she's got a bag of Cheetos. She's reaching it. Oh, again, I'm not at the studio. It's a lockdown. Okay, she brushes off the Cheeto dust on her pajama pants pocket. Sort of rubs her forehead and is like, well, our heroes have caught the 5 parasites, but will they be able to stop the great creature behind all this? And can they trust the Mothman? What will he ask as a favor? Find out perhaps next week on Offbeat Melody.
Then her phone rings.
She looks at her phone, looks who it is, doesn't answer it, continues eating Cheetos.
Stop it, call a luchador just broke into the fucking. A luchador broke into.
The end.
Oh my god.
And that's our session this week.
Woo.
All right.